You are listening to the Lucha Central Podcast Network. And now, LuchaCentral.com presents Masks, Mats, and Mayhem.
That has to go in. Justin will never see it. He's not going to watch.
When I was in Orlando was the absolute worst because I definitely looked Puerto Rican. Welcome to another edition of Mass Mats and Mayhem. I am your host, the Outlaw LA Red. You can find me on social media at JustinHarvey75 if my phone doesn't blow up or my computer explodes and dies in a fiery ball of And you can find the entire show on social media at MMMshow75. This guy, right up here, this guy. Happy birthday, Byron.
Hey, happy birthday, Justin.
I know we treated you like shit a little bit on last week's episode because mostly we don't like you, but
so don't worry about it.
Good. The last segment of the show for anybody, there is a separate link that I put on our Twitter social media where you can just go right to the Casey part and ignore
and also,
all the Byron stuff.
Also, fuck you, Josh.
No, we said it right at the beginning, so he has no excuse to not hear this giant.
No, see, the funny thing is, I know Josh is kidding, and Josh is like, when I was really, really sad once, he made me feel really good about myself. So, Josh may have saved my life at that one point, and you know what? So it's his own fucking fault.
Josh is entitled to have extreme opinions if he would like. He is the homie. So, but that over there,
what did he say? I missed this tweet.
Is at Lucha Gringo. That's at
Meatloaf. I like what Meatloaf is asking to do is to continue on with the show without the rest of the introductions.
Right, but it's fine. So yeah, we got at Lucha Gringo, at Meatloaf, at Byron Fever, at Justin Harvey 75, at MMM Show 75. That's the whole introduction, Byron. Do we need anything else?
Subscribe to our Patreon and try out our GoFundMe. We're still trying to raise money to fly me out to Justin. I think the snow is going to melt soon, so we may have to wait till next year. But keep contributing.
This ain't no Wake-A-Wish, kid.
Wait, and which way do they swipe if they want me to come over and do bad things, Byron? I don't know how these things work.
Did Meef just try to steal my Stone Cold impression?
Almost.
Justin, if you don't know which way to swipe right now, I can't help you.
I've never opened one of those apps before in my life. I don't know anything about them. That's a shoot.
Come on.
So I have. All right.
Don't shoot, brother.
It's been a while since I had one of my trademark investigative journalism things on the show. So speaking of dating apps, I recently on my own discovered a pedophile in wrestling and on my own outed him and saved New Jersey wrestling. So that happened, and I'm taking credit for that.
Nice,
but also,
nice.
I found on the Facebook app, not the website, Facebook app added Facebook dating, which is just another dumb.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
I didn't even know that existed. That's a thing.
You're better off because these apps,
Yeah.
once you get into swiping, it becomes sort of a compulsive thing like a game. And then it almost becomes like, oh, I wonder if they swiped on me. And then you're trying to see if you could win. Oh, we both swiped up on each other. Awesome. Then you don't want to talk to them, but it's like a game and it becomes compulsive. The less of that.
I have Candy Crush for that, man. I don't know if I need any of this in my life.
But still get on Tinder because there's other perks as well besides winning at a video game. But so I noticed on the Facebook one, there were a lot of Chinese women with the same sort of doll face with big eyes, like sort of same type of doctored photos.
Do I need to turn my camera off? Huh? Do I need to turn my camera off for plausible deniability here?
I'm just saying there's a theme of certain types of profiles that are saying like, oh, I'm from Hong Kong, but I'm in LA or something, blah, blah, blah. And then they all have the similar, they all have the same, we're all turned off. They all have the same interests. Like they have varying ones, but they all include investing. And what happens is, because I got suspicious and I wanted to know what this was about. So I would always invest. I would right swipe or whatever on all of them. And then as soon as you match with one, they're like, hey, do you want to chat on WhatsApp? I'm like, okay, that's suspicious, but also foreigners use WhatsApp because it's a handy global texting.
Foreigners.
Anyways. Well, if you're crossing country lines, WhatsApp is a good app to be able to text with people as opposed to having like 4 different phones. Anyway, me, you're a foreigner, and I don't trust you.
Are we good yet? Are we
no.
Good?
So we're
definitely not good.
Did you invest in Poon Coin or not?
So see, well, that's the thing. They strike up a conversation with you, and then they're like, "Oh, I've just been hanging out doing some investing," and then this lady sends me a screenshot of like a bank statement of like, here's how much I made a Bitcoin today. It's been great. I'm like,
okay, I have to come back and save us, guys. Okay,
I didn't ask for that.
Byron, what's the other social media thing that you just tried to you sent me the invite for that I forgot to sign up for?
Grinder.
So here's the thing.
Gryffindor.
So they're fishing for people. They get you to talk and
what's it called?
To them.
It's called Grinder.
And then they're basically trying to get you to download an app, and then you send them money and stuff. They try and make you think you're going to make a ton of money learning from them in Bitcoin.
So did you?
So what's this audio Facebook thingy that you tried to get me on?
Oh, Clubhouse.
What's that all about? Is that any cool?
That's the thing Kevin does with the guy from fucking Jazzwares, right?
So I'm on Clubhouse. Same handles everywhere at Byron Fever. Check me out. Or
is there cool wrestling stuff on Clubhouse?
There is not yet, but that's what we could do.
It's like Bitcoin shit.
So you could do the thing is you could do anything, and that means there's a lot of like get rich quick. I don't know, Bitcoin, whatever, real estate type stuff or influencer stuff. You know, here's how to gain 500,000 followers in 4 months, and you ignore all that stuff. Like, and you find the stuff you like. Like, there's one that I try and chime in or listen to every week on Friday about podcasting. They'll bring on someone to talk about something specific about podcasting, like the tech or branding or how to market. That's a useful conversation to listen to or be a part of. And you need to find stuff that you're interested in and is useful. And then Clubhouse could be cool. But also it could just be like, we could all get in a Clubhouse room and hang out. Some people make games. I play this game with some strangers and a friend.
This is a bootleg Discord that somehow got more famous.
It's kind of like Discord.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the thing is, what we could do is like we could do a Clubhouse after a pay-per-view. You asked me a question, and I'm telling you about it.
I know.
Stay calm and stay in the mix.
I've got my cool Mandalorian mug, man.
That's a dope mug. But
it's giant. It's the size of my head, man. This is all caffeine. Remember when I used to drink on this show?
Byron.
Justin,
remember when drinking was the only way to get through the show for me? Wow.
Yeah. I remember because I used to drink on the show until like a month ago.
Jesus fucking Christ.
But what I'm saying is seriously though, Justin, if you got on Clubhouse with me, we could do a room and talk wrestling and get people on, and then we could do something.
You need a wingman. Is that what you're saying, Byron?
Well,
right.
I mean,
so here's what we're
going to do. You're seeing what it's like when I talk by myself for an extended
Here's what we're
going to
do, Byron.
I need another person.
Byron, I'm going to hook you up. I'm going to cover all your bases. What we're going to do, I'm going to set you up. I'm going to write you a script right now. And what you're going to do is an ASMR bear wrestling page where you just talk like this and say things about how men rub together in their underwear on wrestling this week. Casey just died.
I watched AEW programming that
Byron, Casey just died.
Casey,
are you okay?
You know,
that was just my computer falling.
Oh, okay. I thought
landing,
you fell over.
Justin my computer fell and landed on my suitcase. I'm glad it was there because it probably would have been.
I'm glad something exciting happened in the last 5 minutes.
So Casey's setup is he has sort of a desk on his lap. Yeah. And Justin and Byron.
This is for the old listeners.
We turned on our ASMR voices, and Casey's boner launched his laptop.
Okay, so let's get to the wall of shame. The wall of shame this week. This is dedicated to Casey over there, the professor. I want to put on the wall of shame everyone who hates exploding barbed wire death matches.
Yeah.
Oh shit, Byron.
What?
Do you have the thing I sent you?
Uh-oh.
The match?
No, for Wall of Shame. The listener feedback that I sent you.
Oh. This is a real thing. Anyway, I agree with you, Casey. We were talking about this a little bit earlier.
Okay.
There's so many people bitching about freaking exploding barbed wire death matches. It's like, who cares, man? It's just.
Hold on, guys. I have stuff.
Okay, we'll give it to us.
Yeah, Byron, get it ready while we bitch about this really quick. Okay, so look. I think anyone that tries to pigeonhole wrestling in any one thing is a piece of shit.
Absolutely.
You're a piece of shit.
I think anyone who says wrestling is not whatever sucks.
XYZ. Yeah.
Right. Except if they say Z, it's Z. I mean, come on.
Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead.
I feel like the people that comment on AEW stuff on social media are human cancer.
Are you guys seeing this right now?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm seeing it, but it's hard to. I can't read it.
Okay, so we had.
Well,
some
hold on. Let
feedback.
me fix it because Casey. Fuck, Casey. What? Okay,
crop it.
I'm going to crop it.
Crop it.
I'm going to crop it. Casey, why did you send this to me like a fucking grandpa using the cell phone for the first time?
Casey, I will pay one of you, whoever gets there first, $50 to kick Byron square in the fucking dick.
I will. Hey, I want to send a real quick shout out to Paula O'Keefe. Thank you for the birthday wishes for me and I guess for Byron. And thank you for being a loyal listener for years and years now. So big shout out this week goes to Paula O'Keefe.
Go. So Hall of Shame this week goes to the Outlaw LA Red. I got some listener feedback. My friend Adam had his friend Josh, aka Big Josh, not Josh Pillow, different guy, to listen to our show because he fucking loved Lucha Underground.
Right.
And and a couple days later, out of the blue, he gets this. If he thinks Sting sucked, then he shouldn't be on a wrestling podcast.
Okay,
this is very interesting.
Okay, now listen. He said if he thinks Sting sucked, past tense. So if I liked Sting back in the WCW era, either All American, Flat Top Boy, or the Crow, would that make it okay that I think that Sting absolutely sucks the air out of the current AEW programming?
Yes, it would, but you've already
assessment.
You're already on record saying that you.
Yeah.
I don't like any version of Sting, but at the same time,
all right, Justin is banned from the podcast.
No, I also think that what they're doing with him right now is a time suck. It's the same thing over and over again. God, they need to blow this thing off already. I
disagree. The past few weeks they've been doing stuff.
First of all, the bad guys are winning at the pay-per-view. Come on.
I mean, they did the same thing for like a month. They were like treading water, it felt like.
Did I just say bad guys?
Right. Wow. I'm going to do our version of the kazoo.
Cat butt. Cat anus.
All right. So,
listen.
Come on.
All right. I don't know.
I want to bring something else up for the whole
Go ahead. Bring it up. Do a thing,
Byron.
You guys see this?
Okay.
This is what we're getting into.
How do you not look, going back to me and Justin's original conversation, how do you not look at this and see a beautiful work of art? How do you look at this and say, this isn't wrestling? How can you spend $50 on this? Oh, this is going to be too much in 2021. Listen, first of all, fuck you. I've seen some shit in 2021 that's more violent than this already. I saw a guy straight up murder his fucking neighbors with shotguns for real. In 2021.
I mean, listen, what is wrestling anyway? Wrestling is a not entirely legitimate sport that is designed to elicit an emotional response from you out of the violence that two competitors do to each other. That literally is the entire thing. The rules have changed over and over throughout the years. Like we were talking the other day, nobody does the thing anymore where they raise your hand and it drops 3 times and calls you out because it doesn't make sense to an audience anymore. But it doesn't matter. It's still like you just take stuff in and out. You change rules. You do different gimmicks. It's like, who cares? Oh,
listen, Justin, there's one thing I got to say. If you are shitting on barbed wire, exploding ring death matches, you're shitting on everyone that has participated in one, which means you're shitting on Terry Funk. And if you shit on Terry Funk, you're a piece of garbage. Stop listening to the show right now. I hope you die.
What I like is how everyone is so amped. We're yelling, and it sounds, if you're not paying attention to the words, that we're arguing with each other.
And we're all agreeing.
We are! We're arguing with each other in the motion, but we're saying all the same stuff.
We're arguing to prove who is the most right about the exact same thing, damn it.
I will say one thing for this barbed wire match, though. It is
what's that?
Not. There is. I can't see a bit where it says a table of glass panes. That's the only thing that I would want to add to it.
Yeah, they're using the barbed wire landmines instead, which are completely acceptable. Also, what's not
do they
on
fire
here,
barbed wire?
No.
Or shrapnel
they just explode. But the thing that they haven't mentioned here is if the match goes over 30 minutes, the whole ring blows up.
We love that thing countdown.
I don't think they're gonna do the ring explosion, but they kind of should do the ring explosion if they're gonna tease the ring
are you
explosion.
happy now? We have a table of glass planes.
No.
Byron, could you add a penis on John Moxley, but have it be on fire?
Yeah,
and then sorry, Renee.
Literally, it's like that stipulation is awesome because it's very simply saying that, look, if we get to the whole 30 minutes of this thing, don't worry. As a fan, we're still going to set off everything. We're still going to blow something up. Like, even if for some reason they avoid one side of the ring or they avoid one of these traps, at the end, we're just going to hit a button and give you some pyro for shits and giggles.
Honestly, I think that Kenny's going to be the first one to go into the barbed wire just to prove the doubters wrong.
I agree.
Everyone expects Mox to go in first.
Didn't Kenny go on to the bed of barbed wire?
But
that was
wasn't that a suplex spot?
Yeah, but it was a one-winged angel, but that shit was fake barbed wire at that point. Like that match, half of the barbed wire was gimmicked. So,
and I believe that a lot of this barbed wire will probably be gimmicked too, which is why you do it exploding to cover some of that. But at the same time, like
you're still gonna get cut. You might as well just not gimmick it.
If they sell to the moon and they do some good spots and have some fun with it, I don't care if the barbed wire is gimmicked up a little bit. Like, I don't need the two guys to actually go out there and die, but I also don't need them to go out there and avoid it either. Like, if you're gonna hype this match, you better go out and do some stuff. And I get fully what a lot of people's complaint is. I get that these kind of things shorten careers and this, that, and the other thing. But guess what? You know what shortens the career fastest for a big man? Getting off the ring apron and jumping to the floor has destroyed more knees in wrestling and has ended more careers than any single move in wrestling.
Honestly,
literally jumping off the apron to the floor. That's
Justin, I'm all for fucking kayfabe and all that, but these matches don't shorten careers. You get cut a little bit. You get cut, those cuts heal. Unless you're Mr. Pogo that legit broke his neck during one of those, but he was eventually fine.
There's a reason why Terry Funk went to doing this stuff, because Terry Funk could make it exciting, tell a great story, get cut up a little bit, and not have to work a bunch of crazy shit on his knees.
Yeah. Well, I remember
he actually did it to save himself.
Yeah, I remember Sandman in an interview years ago, decades ago, brought up how he'll do barbed wire instead of ring ropes any day of the week, but he won't take a power bomb.
Look,
he won't put his feet over his head. That's where the real danger is.
Absolutely. Which brings me to the person I want to put on the wall of fame this week.
I want to put. I need to say one thing about this match.
Go for it. We're going to get back to this match.
That's rude me to interrupt.
When the first guy comes out, I want the ring explosion and all the other explosions to accidentally go off.
I just
really amazing. If like some like kind of vibration or something just sets it all off, and it's
I'm not going to be happy if the referee's not wearing the hazmat suit like in FMW.
Okay,
I did that.
I need that.
Casey, what was that one match where there was a pinfall and then was it Onita? Oh, Onita versus Sasuke, maybe, where during like the pinfall count, he just reaches over, grabs the ref, and like covers him up.
Yeah, because the explosion was still going to happen. Yeah, because once you hit the button triggering the explosion, or the explosion's about to count down, it can't be stopped. You see, so even if you score the pin, it'll still explode. But that changed match to match also, and that probably won't be in effect in AEW. I don't know though. That Onita vignette that they showed. Fuck yeah. He said that you have to arm the bombs first. I don't think that's what AEW is doing. And that's not what he always did. It happened in some matches it didn't. Some matches you'd have to flip a switch to get the shit to blow up. But it also started the
time. Knox is doing this match.
Before we make another attempt to segue to the next topic, I just
we're talking about something people will have already seen, by the way.
Yeah. What are the chances that? But I just need to know, what are the chances you guys think that Maki Itoh is walking out with an exploding bat during the match and will come away with the title?
That would be amazing, and 0 to none.
Zero, absolute zero. I don't think Tony's a member of the Respect Army, and quite honestly, Tony, I think that's cowardly of you.
Maybe he's saving it.
I am going to segue because we're going to come back to AEW in a second. I want to go to the Wall of Fame really quick because I want to put Marty the Moth on the Wall of Fame.
Oh yeah.
I love it. We got
Nightmare Factory's Marty the Moth.
Yes, and the reason, I think it's relevant to what we're talking about when we're talking about saving yourself in these matches. When we saw Marty versus Cross at Mav Pro or Maverick, whichever it was at the time, it was like Marty had already sustained that injury, or he was nursing it, or some part of it. He was having some issues, and so what was the first thing they did? Those guys got together and they worked it out and changed it into a hardcore match because it was going to protect him more, And the poor guy and the guy wrestled that match. It was a great match. Nobody in the crowd was any the wiser that Marty had any kind of issues going on, and he did at the time, and we all know that now because he released a statement this week saying, hey, if you're wondering why I'm not in AEW or Impact or even over at the Performance Center somewhere, it's because I've been on the friggin' shelf, man. My life has been jacked, and I'm trying to get myself back together. So he's had the stem cell thing done. He's gotten healed up a little bit, and he does not want to give up on his career. He is resuming his career because it is all that he wants. His lady is supportive of him and behind him. So our man, Marty, that's my champ, Marty, is out at the Nightmare Factory, and he is giving it another go. And full blessing for me, and I hope to see that guy out there. And also, Marty, listen to your boys. Listen to your homies. You don't have to kill yourself on every single cell.
No more
we
dives.
Love you.
No more dives, Marty.
I would also like to add that you don't have to actively find smaller underpants to wear every show.
No, that's good, dude. He needs to find that comfortable barrier between Tater to the air and fans being disgusted, because you don't want an actual ball to pop out, but you want the fear. You want the fear in people's minds.
I agree with that, because simply, like, look, Marty's job is to make you feel uncomfortable. You're supposed to wince at every bump. You're supposed to wince when he cuts a promo. Now, like, if he changes his gimmick and does a different character, maybe not so much on the skivvies, the little tiny chonies, but until then, I think it's completely appropriate because it makes me feel highly uncomfortable.
But maybe he just feels good wearing them. You guys are shaming him.
Didn't Al Snow pull one of Mick Foley's balls out?
No. Hardcore Holly pulled one of Al Snow's balls out.
Okay. I was going to say, if it was a Mick Foley ball, well, he's a Hall of Famer. He's a legend. So, like, maybe they're connected. But, I mean, if it happened to Al Snow, I don't know what that did for him.
All right,
it made Hardcore Holly smile brighter than he's ever smiled in his whole life, according to Mick Foley.
I do want to talk a little bit about some other AEW things that happened before the pay-per-view. We're going to definitely cover the pay-per-view later in this show because everyone has already seen it at this point. But I want to go back to especially Thunder Rosa versus Nyla that was on Bleacher Report or whatever. Yeah. Thunder Rosa's freaking amazing. And there's a reason why I say this. And I don't know what people... I don't know. It's not even that. It's because of what I saw her do in that match. She came out like Dean Malenko.
Yeah.
She did a lockup spot at the beginning with a big push off to her, totally Dean Malenko style, just like Dean every time he was up against somebody outsizing him. Then she comes right back, does a real wrestling go behind, a real move, and instantly she's already making Nyla look great. Thunder Rosa led for that entire match. Mm-hmm. She was telling the ref when to go send stuff over to Nyla. She controlled that entire thing, and Nyla Rose, to me, has never looked that good.
Right. Even against Rio. Even against...
I mean,
But so my question is, and I'll let you talk in a second, but my question for you guys is, holy shit, when did Thunder Rosa turn into this level of veteran where I'm sitting here comparing her to like Dean Malenko or Jerry Lynn? I mean, she looks like these smaller guys who went in there and called a match and led the entire time flawlessly, regardless of whether every spot went down perfectly. She did her job flawlessly.
It's been since the Twisted Sisters kind of stopped teaming, I think. If you want a real timeline, I think it's right around there.
I would also say that this is something. I mean, she may not have been at that good at this level, good at wrestling, but I think this thing was in her way before she even started wrestling. When she was going through all these other things she had to persevere through in her life, and she even came into the industry not speaking English. Like we were seeing her debut on Lucha Underground this episode. And she has this whole promo. English was not her first or best language in it. And it was, she had a strong voiceover in it. And like, she dedicates herself to demanding a certain level of quality and improvement and performance out of herself.
Yeah.
Out of herself. And that just carries on. So like, I think it's interesting that you're noticing a specific Dean Malenko flair to her, which involves, a mastery of technique and psychology, but having her just excel in a variety of situations is not a surprise.
Mm-hmm. I also think that finish was the right call. It finally got Nyla's heat back for her, which she hasn't really gotten back since she was the champion. I mean, she is a former champion, and just for the sake of protecting their own belt, they do have to let Nyla get a certain amount of that heat back. And it's been like a year, and she hasn't credibly gotten her heat back yet. And obviously I don't feel like Thunder Rosa having another title shot right now works because they blew it. I don't think they should have blown it the first time, but they did. And right now it doesn't quite work. And I think they have other stuff they can do with Thunder Rosa.
Well, they've blown every title shot since Sheeta's been champion, pretty much. Let's be real.
Well, they're blowing this one too, to be honest. But that's another.
I think. I mean, there was the COVID thing where all title reigns got deflated a bit, but I do think that they have their long range plans, which is why, like, if you want someone to come in that's a big main eventer, they're not going to be world champ. Most likely, they're not going to be world champ for another year or so because they have the long range plans with like Kenny and Mox, and then also with Sheeta. So I don't think it was I don't think it's realistic to think she would have been champ, but she definitely came in with that trajectory, and they need to be able, because they're storytellers, they just need to be able to recreate that trajectory again.
Yeah, I mean, look, let's be honest. It was a cool thing to bring in the NWA champ at that time. We knew she wasn't really going to go over, and putting a bigger build-up in there when she was untested in AEW didn't make sense. And it's an honor that they thought of her to come and give Sheeta a credible challenge, because obviously, look at what they're doing. They cannot. They're literally saying with this whole tournament, hey, we don't have a woman good enough for our champion to face. They're literally saying that now. They're saying she could only potentially face somebody else from Japan. We just did a huge tournament with all of our stars, and not one of our homegrown stars is in the league to face our champion. Because we know this is booked. We know this is booked. We know it's not a real sport.
I have two things to say about that, and I'm going to make it super quick. But so I do think Thunder Rosa did come in, and she did the next best thing to actually winning the belt. She came in and made herself the best female talent in the company, because Sheeta's the champion. Sheeta is awesome, but Sheeta wasn't wrestling. She wasn't getting TV segments regularly.
Yeah.
And
like look, Thunder Rosa is and ranked higher on everyone's list right now than Sheeta. Thunder Rosa is in the top 5 of female wrestlers right now.
So she did two things. One, inward, she proved that she herself was better than anyone else in any type of wrestling segment on the female side of the roster. Two, she was getting the best female AEW wrestling matches every time she went on. Serena Deeb, the best match. And then Sheeta, one of the best matches, And so she had results that you didn't have the belt, but it's an entertainment business, and her segments were killing. And
the real feud down the line is her and Britt Baker. That's the real money fight.
That was great.
Still. They got the first part of it out of the way. They can get back to it 2 or 3 more times. Shida is not going to be a part of that at that conversation when that finally does really kick off.
I do love the mob boss Shida that she's doing now. I think that's dope, but I do have a bit of a problem with what you're saying about needing to bring in other talent as opposed to homegrown talent.
No, I'm not saying that they need to. I'm just saying that AEW writing it that way is basically saying to us, we don't feel like we have a homegrown talent that will make a compelling match for Shida right now.
I don't think that's
cool.
How it is,
all of their champions have been WWE guys up until Kenny and Darby. So yeah.
I think the Joshi, the Japanese talent were supposed to be AEW roster talent. They're supposed to be part of the product that they sell, and now they're getting access back to them.
Right. They're supposed to be part of the product that they were bringing in to bolster up the company. But what they're saying is the part of the company that we have right here that we were supposed to bolster ourselves, we haven't done that.
No, because remember Abaddon?
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, Abaddon was a bit of a miss, but also though their women roster was heavily
And what about
overseas.
Anna Jay? Like Anna Jay was showing all this improvement. They had all this time where they could have done something, and now she's on the shelf.
I think they did.
Like they're just missing opportunities in this division. They really
on the
are.
shelf for a long fucking time too, like 6 months or some shit.
Yeah,
right?
and that one's a bummer because she had shown great signs. They're doing good stuff with her on Dark, but they gave her no storyline, no angle. And she was better than half the other women that were wrestling in that division.
Yeah, but they did get Red Velvet up.
Yeah, but I mean, look,
she looked great in her match.
And we'll talk about this. So let me ask you this. Here's my question for you guys. Is this past week's episode of Dynamite one of the best go-home shows to a pay-per-view ever?
No, but
I don't know about
a few great moments.
It did.
I don't know about ever, but I personally love the whole show.
It was the best wrestling show on this week, and it didn't. And and the main event even wasn't that big time, but I loved that those guys were in it.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about it. Obviously, it starts right off with Cody and Red Velvet.
Can we go to break and come back?
Sure. Let's do that. All right. So we're gonna send it over to our friend.
Do the ASMR voice.
Here's how I'm gonna do it.
Listen here, Cupcake Rose. That fucking table never stood a chance.
We're gonna come right back and talk all about Shaquille O'Neal.
So don't you disappear like I disappeared out of that ambulance.
After we listen to the dulcet tones of Denise Salcedo over in Lucha Central to tell us everything that's happening this week on the Lucha Central Podcast Network.
Hey everyone, it's Denise Salcedo here in Lucha Central with a reminder of where and when to catch all of the great network content this week. Get the full lineup and listen to all of our shows in the podcast network section of luchacentral.com. Sundays on the Lucha Central Facebook page, world-traveled shooter of the camera kind, Jerry Villagrana goes mano a mano with a fellow photographer to throw down about some of their favorite photos they have taken at Lucha Libre events. Monday, Business of the Business returns as Mass Republic President Kevin Kleinrock takes you inside how your favorite Lucha Libre merchandise gets made. On Tuesdays, Mass Mats and Mayhem takes you inside the world of Lucha Underground as they take you weekly through the series with the benefit of hindsight and the benefit of special guests from the groundbreaking series. Check out the premiere video stream every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on the Lucha Central YouTube channel and at luchacentral.com. Then listen to it on your favorite podcast platform every Wednesday. Tuesday nights live, it's Wrestle Boss, where Fabi Chulo talks MMA and pro wrestling with special guests and listener call-ins. Visit WrestleBossLive.com Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific to listen live or call in with questions or download the show on podcast platforms on Wednesdays. Wednesday nights live on Facebook, it's Spanish show La Mesa de los Márgaros, giving you both the news and the chisme from around the lucha world. Special guests and a whole lot of fun make it one of the most talked about shows in Mexico. Thursdays, it's Straight Out of the Bodega with Papo Esco and PWR promoter Gabriel Ramirez, as they have guests from throughout the wrestling world pull up to give an inside look into their careers. From indie standouts to television superstars, each week brings a new name and perspective. On Friday, it's your double dose of Lucha Central Weekly podcast, one in English y el otro en español. Lucha Central Weekly is where you'll find all the top stories of the week, both inside and out of the ring from Mexico and anywhere luchadores are in action across the globe. Be sure to subscribe and follow all your favorite Lucha Central Network series on your favorite podcast platforms, either by their own series name or subscribe to the Lucha Central Podcast Network show pages to get all of the shows in one easy feed. And please consider giving a rating to help more fans find the shows that you love. For now, this is Denise Salcedo signing off from Lucha Central Central. Have a great week.
And we're black.
Yeah.
What's up, brother?
I love the dead silence. I love the silence.
No, dude, that's
because that is what live audiences would be doing right now with Apollo Crews. But I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Right now, I want to talk about another guy. I want to talk about the man Shaquille O'Neal.
Dude, how is he my favorite wrestler now?
It's confirmed he's eligible for the Observer's Rookie of the Year.
Look, I just think I love it when, if you're going to get an outsider in, I like it when they take it seriously. They try to do a couple things. They try not to go too far with it. Like they protected him perfectly in the match. Oh, that one's actually kind of dope. I actually like that one.
Hold on, Meef. Yeah.
It's a little blurry.
Oh, look at him. I got to tell you, one of my top 10 markout moments in all of wrestling was the WWE video game with everyone playing the violin. Even though the casting notice had already come out, we all knew they were doing something for Sting. To see that commercial, Sting's back in the video game, which almost was better because you knew how he would get booked in WWE. That was one of my best moments.
Yeah, that would have been ugly.
Revenge isn't even a word.
We're not even at that segment yet. We'll talk about Sting in a second. Listen, I want to talk Shaquille O'Neal.
Look at my eyes.
I want to give the man credit because, and I'm giving Bad Bunny credit too. I'm giving these people credit that they have a big presence outside of the ring. They like wrestling and they come in and they do a thing and they take it seriously. And I thought that this was very well done. I thought that Jade and Red Velvet matched up well. They both had their greenness to them, but some of the stuff that Jade did with Velvet was pretty good. And they had to hold down most of the match. Keep in mind, the two greenest ones there had to hold down the match because Shaq's not going to be running the ropes and doing stuff. Like Shaq did some stuff on the outside. He got in the ring, did his spots the way he was supposed to. Arn is running over. I mean, dude, Arn was agenting that match in the middle of the match, which was amazing.
I love Cupcake Ropes. Let me tell you something, Cupcake Ropes. I ain't going to run you.
Cupcake Ropes.
You see me running off the court?
I did enjoy how because AEW's camera work, which I enjoy the aspect of how sloppy they are because it makes it a little bit more real. But in this match, the Sting stuff, we first commented how everything was sharp. This one, it wasn't as sharp. So you definitely saw moments where like Cody was producing Shaq in the ring. He would just come over to the corner and tell him, all right.
But it wasn't even just that. It was like they were getting in Arn's ear. And then Arn would run over and tell Cody, and then Cody would run it into Shaq and produce it from there. And there's a few of those spots too, because you get that later with Tully and JJ Dillon. Yeah. Like this was some old school AWA madness going on all over the place.
I really wish that the powerbomb spot was like a secret. It was like hidden from Cody until the match, and then Arn's over. Cody, tell Shaq to powerbomb you as hard as he can. What?
Hey, look, Shaq's powerbomb is better than Nyla's, and he's been or Nia Jax's, and he's been in wrestling for a minute.
He did the John Huber powerbomb.
Let me tell you something, Cupcake Harvey. They call me Shaq Diesel for a reason. What was Diesel's finishing move?
Nice tie-in. Nice tie-in.
Dude, okay, first of all, that table, those tables were fucking dead. Like, fuck. Like, if those were Japanese tables, they still would have fucking exploded.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Well, dude. Justin, first, you know the rule of wrestling. You always bring it up. The girls put the tables out.
Yes.
That got me thinking, for real?
Yeah, if you said it, you get it. But did you really want Shaq to jump down and do it? It was so funny too, because the spot's coming because the ref is having to tell Shaq to move because he's blocking all of the hard camera standing on that side of the ring.
To do a tag match and get in this fucking corner.
But he was trying to set himself up for the table spot.
Right. Yeah,
he didn't know how soon he was supposed to be over there or not, and he didn't know that he was supposed to wait for Cody's signal.
I remember when that just randomly, all of a sudden, it's like my reaction was, "Oh, I can't see anything in the ring now." Oh, Shaq is standing on the hard cam side. Why is he? Oh, he's going through the tables.
I've actually personally experienced this where my kid did karate. There was a cigar shop right next door out in Calabasas that Shaq used to go to. And literally I'm sitting there and I'm watching these little kids do karate and shit one day. And all of a sudden I thought the lights went out and everyone's looking around like the power went out, but it's literally Shaq standing in the window outside, just watching the little kids do karate. And he blocked out the fucking sun. So all the little kids stopped.
Cupcake, son.
Hey,
oh my
guys,
God, it's hilarious.
Let's play a game for our visual listeners.
Go for it.
Roddy Piper or Rosie O'Donnell?
Rosie O'Piper.
Oh.
That's Tom
Cruise.
Look at the sick rack that gave the hot rod here, man.
Dude, like, what is all this? That is some newness for the hot rod.
It's some big cast shit. No, you can take it off though. He's the new He-Man Man at Arms. The new Roddy Piper He-Man figure. Look at that. He's got the Skeletor dick flap as a kilt. Tremendous. Okay, I got one more. It is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. You made me grab this shit because you made me grab Sting. So now you gotta.
Are we gonna?
No, you don't gotta do that. Whatever. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, complete with a fucking dragon.
Lava dinosaur.
It goes on his back. Yeah.
So this is Game of Thrones edition Steamboat.
Yeah. My favorite wrestler growing up was Rey Mysterio. Someone will get that joke. Jesus Christ.
I got that. I laughed.
Yeah.
I get it.
Okay. So
anything else going on with action figures these days?
Oh yeah, the New Japan figures look like fucking shit, but maybe they don't, but they probably do.
So check this out. I watched the major.
Well, the Match Republican dropping them.
I'm excited about them again, but this was our first. This was our first impression of them. And
what was our first impression? Oh, you're putting it up.
I'm trying to.
You guys.
Anyway,
look at what we said about them.
Oh God.
So here's Ryu Mizunami,
his face.
the IWGP champion.
Ryo Mizunami. Yeah.
This picture, just first of all, they used the wrong head. Like, he has two heads. This head is the kissy face Okada. There are many fun versions of Okada. Kissy face Okada is not one of them. So I
feel like this is his I'm a cat, meow meow face.
Meow meow.
Meow.
So this looks horrible. And when we saw this, I thought I need to get a refund. And then let's see. I'm gonna see if I can get over to Will Ospreay, because the Will Ospreay one is actually
hilarious.
Yeah.
Shit, but that's fantastic. Mm-hmm. If you buy a Will Ospreay figure, you get exactly what you
look
deserve.
At how fucking tan the pale Englishman
look
is.
Look at his neck. Look at his neck and the shoulders and arms.
Oh, and also his figures and scale as though he was like 6'3", according to the
wow, definitely the tallest one.
Remember the really, really cheap figures you used to get, and they were all shaped like that with the really long arms.
Yeah. So these look really bad. However, I've seen newer photos, and they're just
no Tanahashi picture. Come on,
Tanahashi. All right,
he's looking for it. That Will Ospreay, wow. I didn't see that one before.
I mean, knockoff Kendall.
I saw the Kazuchika Okada one, but that.
Were you buying Ospreay anyway, Byron?
I'm not going to buy Ospreay, but I think I'm going to pick up Ishii. I'm happy. Like, I saw the in depth with the major pod. Kurt Hawkins did a really great job. Zack Ryder looked lost the whole time, which I guess is standard. Their producer is doing like this hype train thing because it's a Twitch show, and every time Zack Ryder's like hype train, choo 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 choo, and I think he just was like he likes trains. You didn't know it's like a you get
that
money.
Face doesn't look terribly inaccurate.
Look at his hair, dog.
The hair is the weird.
Yeah. It's just
beautiful man. They all have the same body, so Tanahashi doesn't have his fucking pecs, his delicious pecs that they fucking put on a COVID mask.
They took his swole off him.
But yeah. I will say this though. What I'm doing is I'm stalling because I'm clicking on the wrong buttons.
Right. Honorary delicious daddy Tanahashi does not look very delicious.
No,
but they are.
Belt looks cool though. That's a good. Accessory.
Yeah. So they all have belts. It's super dope. But
Ishii looks all right, but he kind of looks like a cholo sloth in one picture.
So
he's like,
So here's Okada.
Let me make it rain.
The elbow pad.
Make it rain a little.
I think drizzle. I think they look pretty good. I mean, there's issues drizzle. like
they look bootleg. He's the fucking drizzle maker.
and it looks like someone's done soft focus all over his face. It looks like someone's gone with a smudge tool.
Well, I mean, another thing is like these figures look super, super way too shiny, and maybe that was fixed as well. But also, like, there's small details, like the Okada wrist tape. They're the wrong colors. His elbow pad is painted on, which is a choice. I prefer to have the elbow pad, but
yeah, I do too.
But his tights were changed to, I think, be easier to paint. He has all these small details, whatever. But like Ishii doesn't have his wrist tape. There's all wrist tape issues with all their hands, and Ishii doesn't have boot laces. There's like little details like that missing on all of them. But on the other hand,
keep in mind we're bitching about details because these are $50 figures.
Right. These are high dollar, supposed to be the shizzle, and they look like the $10 GI Joes that you get these days.
I think they look at least 15, but those first pictures were like definitely swamp meat versions.
They have more joints than a $10 figure, but that's about it.
I do got to say they're in more people's hands than the Lucha Bros figures.
But I hope
tremendous.
I hope that the Wave 2, the in Los Ingobernables de Japón ones are going to be a lot better.
Fucking Naito's hair. I can only imagine the atrocities that they will.
Just wait till they do Suzuki.
Hey, I want to jump back to
Where's our Suzuki figures, Casey?
You know what? Okay, so I talked to TJ at Super 7 at a convention, and he's the guy that's responsible for making a lot of the wrestling figures, okay? And he might not remember me, but I came up to him at a Monster Palooza, and I'm like, dude, I heard you're doing New Japan figures. And we had like a conversation about it, right? And he's like, so who's your favorite guy that you'd want to see? And I said, Minoru Suzuki.
Yeah.
And he looked so sad that was my answer.
Right.
And I'm like, I know his merchandising's a little different than some of the other guys though, and he kind of
pimp. You have to buy his jeans.
Yeah. Dude, you gotta buy fucking Ebisu jeans, and you gotta buy those boots that we can't get.
Need those boots.
Fuck.
What I need right now is for anyone who's a listener or viewer of this show in Japan with money to help me and help Casey and myself obtain these dope ass boots that Minoru Suzuki wears, and he puts in all of his socks commercials. I wear the same socks that he does.
I'm pretty sure he fucks in those boots, like
guaranteed.
You? Yeah,
guaranteed.
Yeah.
Listen, I want to jump back to AEW real quick, just so we're not here forever.
Oh, well,
no, but.
What are your thoughts on boots, Meath, real quick?
That's true.
Well,
can you make us those boots?
Wait, Meath, are you supposed to be in the top? You're supposed to be in the top corner. You or Casey?
Meath.
No, Meath is. We swapped. Shit.
There we go.
Meath swapped.
Bottom right for life.
Sting package. Look, I blinked and I missed the Pac and Rey Fenix match, but at the same time, that's a super duper good thing. Like, I miss squash matches, and I think having a squash match here actually helped. Like, just bring your star out, let them get a little time with some newbies, let them squash them out quick and do a couple of finishers. Like, this reminded me that this was a good feeling of like, dude, wrestling is supposed to be like this. If every episode we have to have attempts at 20-minute classics. It's like you can do that at every PWG because PWG isn't every week. You know, you can do that at these other events because it's not all the time, but you can't do that on AEW every week. Squash matches need to happen more.
I think that their music legit scared the shit out of -1 at the end of the episode. Because he like jumps when that comes on, and I'm just like, oh, I don't think that was acting. I think they scared the shit out of that poor child.
I really love how in the Dark Order's beating up Matt Hardy segment, when all the schmoz is in the ring and Matt Hardy sneaks out to walk backstage, he still has to walk by -1, and -1's just like chasing him out, like, get out of here.
that kid's over, man. He's doing a really good job, dude.
Yeah,
it's amazing that his mother is letting him do that every week.
I do want to 50 years in the business.
I do want to wish a quick happy birthday, by the way, to AEW rookie Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, happy birthday, Shaq!
And Big Hoffa.
Do you know what my favorite birthday food is?
No,
cupcakes.
Of course it is.
Which is a normal cake to him.
Big shout outs and props to MJF too, because of the fact that he said turkey tits, one of my favorite things since the invention of slap nuts.
Oh my god!
I immediately tweeted at Tony Khan, "Hey, if you need other podcaster hosts to call turkey tits, here's our Twitter handle."
And I responded that at least 2 of our hosts have delicious honey baked ham tits, and you guys didn't even like it. You didn't.
Wow, I didn't see that. I did not see that. Well, somehow I missed.
It wasn't about me, so I didn't. You know.
No, I know you're private, so I definitely was not. I was trying to disassociate with your vulgarity in front of my new friend Tony K of the Death Valley Driver Board /
shit football team.
Dude, I just wish he knows. I hope he knows me from that board. I hope he knows that your old pal Trauma Taker is watching your show, and he
think he's still like backstage at AEW updating the list.
Maybe. Who knows? I gotta say, I like the faction thing of where they're going kind of elite with Inner Circle. It's like they have their internal issues that play out, and then but they'll all unite against each other. The double table, the stereo table spot was cool. It makes up for all the stuff with Daddy Buck last week to me.
I like how every stable has to go through the same angle on the show. Like they can't just have one tag team feuding with themselves. They have to have every tag team feuding with themselves. True. And then they have to have every stable almost breaking up at the same time. New Japan does the same shit though.
They have some issues, and maybe that's why I liked it, because it made it feel big. I mean, you don't want to go NWO Black and White versus Wolfpack anytime soon.
I got something that feels big, Justin.
I bet you do.
I'll make it feel big.
No, you understand that Shaquille O'Neal has a giant hog.
Oh God, it's fucking like, come on.
When we talk about blocking out,
here's the thing. Even if he had a small hog for a guy that big, it would still be giant.
It would still be the size of Cody's arm. Yeah,
like he might even feel inadequate as a man, and he still got all of us topped by an arm length.
Wait a second, but Shaquille O'Neal's wife is not a tall woman.
God bless her soul.
Happy woman.
That's all I can say. God bless her soul. You think she's happy?
We thought Dario Cueto's mom had trouble giving birth to Matanza.
Wow.
Go the other way.
The Jurassic Express versus FTR thing, nothing to say. I enjoyed it. JJ Dillon getting shit on by Tony Schiavone afterwards was hilarious too. That made every bit of the match worth it to me. I had fun with it. I don't know what I was watching half the time, but it didn't matter. It was just all fun.
Schiavone.
Oh,
so fucking funny.
I know. Schiavone's just like, okay, you don't get paid extra for that. You know that, right? Okay, go away now, JJ. Oh, Schiavone. And then, I want to go back to the deathmatch promo real quick that had Onita in it. What did you think of that promo, Case? Did that sell it more for you? I mean, I know we'll have already seen the match by the time this airs, but I'm just interested in what you thought about that promo and the footage that they put in. The super grainy, blown up footage.
That's kind of all that exists, really. Yeah. I mean, there's not like high def masters of that shit right now, but First of all, if you're asking if it gave me a boner, the answer is yes.
Okay, good. That is actually what I was asking.
Yeah, Onita is one of my fucking heroes in life, and he's a great man. I
have never seen any Onita stuff on the internet. I literally have only seen it on tape from Max Payne's kid when we used to watch tapes at his house.
Bro, honestly, it's the same shit quality on the internet. It's gonna look just as bad.
Well, see, it didn't look as bad to me because I was watching it on VHS and everything from the tape trading days looked like that. So it was like,
yeah, dude, people have been really good about putting like FMW commercial tapes, like the whole tape on YouTube and Wing too, which I prefer. Because FMW is just a poor man's Wing, not the other way around, motherfuckers. Everyone else in the world probably says other way around. I say those people can eat shit because of Freddy Krueger and fucking Crypt the Keeper, even though he was an FMW.
Phantasma.
Yeah. Even though Crypt the Keeper was an FMW, he was a member of the Funk Masters of Wrestling. But whatever. So, anyway, back to the promo, Justin.
Yeah, this footage was this was not the Great Muta versus Great Nita footage. I couldn't tell. Somebody had said that it was, and they barely showed it and it was all so blurry. I had no friggin' clue if that's this Big Japan? Is this all Japan? What's this from?
This was all FMW shit pretty much. I mean, if there was some Muta stuff in there, I missed it because Great Nita had face paint and he was a clone of the Great Muta character-wise, and you didn't even see any of that shit in here. I don't know though. Like, I might have been jerking it too hard to notice some of the details. Anita comes on the screen and things start happening. I'm just happy he didn't start crying like he usually does. But that man does beautiful promos.
I'm happy he didn't show up and try and turn that promo into a 6-man promo.
Hey, first of all, come on. He's not going to do that to Tony Khan because he's a fucking billionaire. You do that to like indie promoters because you can fuck them over. And oh man, look, Onita, great man. Yes, he might have used government funds to buy a hotel for a threesome. Okay, that's fine. Maybe you shouldn't have voted for him if you're going to get mad about shit like that. Okay, but
he knows how to put a match over, damn it. And I like him saying these stipulations are a perfect addition to really settle this whole thing. That was great.
And plus, people should be happy for him because it means that didn't get blown off in any of the exploding barbed wire matches, and it works fine. Even though the dude's old as shit.
Yeah.
He may look like a J-pop star now with his
he's like 65, haircut. Isn't he? Wasn't he born? He was born in the mid-50s, so that makes him like mid-60s now?
God, I about shit my pants over Onita when Terry Funk was telling the story about making him a fake driver's license. That popped me, and I think I was supposed to be quiet. And then the host had to say, "Okay, that just popped our studio audience right now." But yeah, oh my God, no, like I'm a huge Onita fan. I really think like the advances he made in wrestling. Yeah, they're kind of dumb and wacky, but that makes wrestling awesome. Dumb shit is what wrestling is really all about. I don't care.
But also, he was willing to go out there and do the dumb shit to prove it. To prove that it could pop a crowd, to prove that it could draw. He went out and actually did it. He didn't just say dumb shit in the back like we do, like we have these days where some writer comes up with some dumb shit but doesn't have to be the one to go out there and do it. He actually went out and did it.
That thing I said earlier about shortening careers, check this out. Onita was a young, like light heavyweight sensation in All Japan, okay? And then some asshole young boy didn't clean up some water that was spilled at ringside, and he slipped and blew his knee out. Like career-ending knee injury, pretty much. But he came back, and he's like, you know what, motherfucker? I'm going to be a deathmatch dude. And it prolonged his career by what, like 40 years now?
40 years.
I'm telling you. People think that these death matches are all like, look, it doesn't have to be the crazy scaffold match where you throw a guy off and he almost dies by falling 18 stories. We're not necessarily talking about that kind of thing, but these kind of matches can actually protect careers.
I've seen that, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I've seen someone giving a Death Valley driver off scaffolding through a table of glass.
Oh, I've seen all those things.
And it was amazing.
We were at Lucha Underground too.
I've also seen like Miguel Itoh Perez and the Iceman in their fucking scaffold match and wing. And let me tell you, if Miguel Itoh Perez falls in the ring, he's got all that body hair to cushion his blow. He's okay.
That's so gross, but true. Oh my God.
Byron, fucking scaffold match. You are good.
You are fine, Byron. You'll just land on that beard and you will be fine.
My beard is, I'm shaving it now.
Hey, listen, I gotta say that I love seeing Mark Quinn and John Silver be in the main event this week. That I popped for that big time. Casey is the guy who told us all last year, like, hey, look out for John Silver. He's super dope. He's going to be somebody. And everyone's like, I don't know about that. And then all of a sudden, like, guess what? Look out for John Silver because he is somebody and he's dope.
And he's in the main event. And look, he's, I'm just saying things like hardcore PWG people have known for a while.
Right.
They've seen more of his stuff, but dude hasn't been wrestling all that long. And
no, he's great though.
Well, he's a child still, right?
Yeah, but he's got the beard. It's like the beard is so he doesn't get carded, probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you figure if he went to the store and he's like, "Oh, I don't have my ID," and he'd be like, "No, seriously, I'm not 15 years old. Sell me this."
Have you seen Dark Order's 10 out of his gimmick? I mean, he's a baby face looking dude too. I mean, there's some young handsome fellas.
I really enjoyed how on the commentary they're ripping on how ugly he was, or they're ripping on how ugly he was. Oh, Caster was.
When, that's hilarious because he is like, it's so surprising that he's under a hood because it's like, dang, he is a baby face looking dude, but also that could be the problem. You know, he might be better under a hood just because baby faces don't play well anymore these days.
Yeah, like honestly, if you could say, Casey, wear a mask as a wrestler so you could go to the mall and no one would ever bother you, dude, come on. It's awesome.
Hey, I have here written in my notes, it says, Stink, blah, 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 blah. Ricky Stark slaps the taste out of Stink's mouth, and then Stink Scorpion, blah, 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 blah. Team Taz saves Powerhouse, Hobbs, and Hook. Cajun, blah, 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 blah. Same shit over and over and over again. This shit, at very least, needs a full crowd. Those are what my notes literally say. Okay, blah blah blahs and all. Like, look,
I think they did fuck up on this.
You can see the blah 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 blahs in there.
Honestly, they fucked up on the segment, but they fucked up on not having it be last week and having last week's segment be this week's segment because
bingo
stronger.
Completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. And plus, all my Sting BS aside, it is something about the format of the storytelling that they're doing here. It's not like that they have all the wrong elements. The elements are fine. All of my BS aside,
they're just in the wrong place.
They are not. Yeah, they're just not formulating this thing the right way. And I think not having the full audience really is a big part of that.
Also a problem AEW has quite often, like putting the mimosa match after the pinfall win.
Yeah.
There's a few of those, like having an exploding ring death match after the gentleman's rules match. No, I guess that works. I don't know. Having the gentleman's rules after the fucked up death match and then having another fucked up death match. It's a weird order. I'm all for fucked up death matches. I don't care in that case. But I feel with this angle, they're telegraphing a certain team winning a little too much.
Well, maybe. By the end of this episode, we'll know.
That's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, let
me tell you something there, Justin.
Oh shit! Here we go.
You see Outlaw,
LA bread.
The R's
for the pay-per-view. They're gonna win on the pay-per-view. You see, Wrestling 101. You see, I'm losing my Taz. Sorry, guys. Leave that in, Byron.
Oh, that's in case you missed it.
No, do the Taz. Do the Taz.
Listen there, Byron. Look, if you're gonna lose at a show before a pay-per-view, you're going over at the pay-per-view. Do you need me to call somebody to tell you about wrestling booking?
I'll tell you what we don't need to talk about because we already know the answer to it, except we don't know the answer. is the Paul White segment of who's coming in and blah 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 blah. We've all been speculating
pal.
all
well,
week.
That's your clue right there, pal. The clue is coming. Yeah. Hey, Val, try not to get any of that on my table before you leave, huh?
I think that this is what I'm going to say. Kudos to
Val Venus.
Kudos to AEW. They have done something here. They have actually gotten everybody talking about what is happening on their pay-per-view. They are the big show this week. UFC's got a huge UFC this weekend, and I know more UFC fans that are talking about AEW right now than Israel Adesanya possibly walking out a 2-belt champion. So look, it's a big deal. AEW did their job. They built enough different elements to put together an exciting pay-per-view. So
hey,
everybody hated it when it was Sandman.
Look, I'm not going to shit on it, something that friends of the show are on, but I'm just saying that the other show is going to move to Tuesdays apparently because somebody's got them running scared. I'm just saying.
Maybe we shall see.
So who do you guys? Okay, we got Byron's going to fucking edit this if he's
wrong. The thing about the Tuesday night move though is that there's wrestling on every night, and at this point you can't. Like they're going to Tuesday or whatever, but they're still dark. They're still MLW or no, that's Wednesday before, but they're still Impact.
MLW. Come on.
All right, quick predictions. I'm with Casey. We're gonna solve this answer by the end of this episode. But I thought Christian Cage was the shoe-in. Now I'm not so sure, and I really hope it's not Kurt Angle.
I think since Angle's teasing it, it's not Angle, and I think it's good. Okay, and there's going to be a separate surprise for the ladder match also,
which I also thought was weird because if it was that's what makes me think it's not Christian now. Because if it was Christian, putting him in the ladder match would be awesome. Even if he only did a couple spots and they protected him, I think that would be the way to go. But now that Tony said that it's not that, I don't think it's Christian, and I'm really worried that it's Kurt Angle.
I'm hoping Kurt Angle is Sid. Okay, and people might say, "Oh, well, Sid stabbed someone on the roster half to death." Well, first of all, that person stabbed him too.
So and there's a built-in feud.
Built-in feud. Also, if you will, WCW hired Sid back while Arn was still on the payroll too.
That's true.
So Sid's the only person I can think of that stabbed a coworker.
If they hired New Jack as the second surprise, it kind of equals everything out because they'll be like, right, Sid, right, Arn, New Jack will stab you both.
Yeah. Also, Tony can buy the music for him to come out to.
Yeah, I don't think they would
Natural
play
Born Killers.
No. They wouldn't play
it. It's Florida. There's no law.
The mind of a maniac, doomed to be a killer since I came out the nutsack.
Boom, boom.
All right, let's take another quick break. We're going to come back, talk some Lucha Underground, and very briefly about WWE, because there really isn't a whole lot to say in that world this week. Anyway, we'll be right back after this.
Okay, I don't have to be here for the WWE part, right?
Lucha-masks.com, in partnership with Mask Republic, give you personal protective masks to keep you Lucha strong in the fight versus COVID-19. With world-class luchadors Blue Demon Jr., the Lucha Brothers, LA Park, Ultimo Dragon, Cain Velasquez, Conan, and so much more. Head to lucha-masks.com and you too can become a masked warrior. Lucha-masks.com, powered by Pro Wrestling Revolution.
And we're white.
Are we? I don't identify.
No, we're not. We're not using that as our comeback.
No.
I think you need to. So tie it into this episode of Lucha Underground.
Check this out. I'm on Clubhouse right now. I just got a notification. You can't see.
And we're back. Where are you at right now, Byron?
I'm gonna pop open Clubhouse right now.
I'm gonna do a Shooey while you're doing that.
Look at this.
If you
he's got the kettle one. Yay.
Oh shit, you're drinking again, dude?
I'm gonna do my Kettle One Shooey.
Do the courts know you're drinking?
I can't believe Justin actually went and got Kettle One. Did you already have it? Or did you
no, I have had this Kettle One since July of last year. I have not been drinking for a long time. So we're gonna just do a little bit of that in there. Oh my god. He's doing it.
I don't think he meant a literal shoe.
I might be playing hockey later tonight. I don't know if I'm.
We're doing it.
You guys can get glass slippers.
Oh, for real?
I just gotta crush this. Is that how you would do this?
Wait,
Yeah.
I would have done something too.
This is for Gotse and Comatose. Here we go. This is a vodka Shooey.
Chug, 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 chug.
Holy fuck. Justin.
Oh
my god.
Well,
Do it again.
He's got athlete's tongue now.
You got to do it again.
Oh, what do you mean I gotta do it again?
We missed it. It wasn't on the one. It wasn't on a one.
I didn't know you were doing it.
I don't care. I just did a Shooey. It wasn't for the visual effect of it.
The good news is that Kettle One is very smooth. So.
Oh my god! Oh, that burns, man.
I wanted to.
I can drink that neat.
I haven't had a drop of alcohol since September.
You're arguing smoothness with an Englishman.
Is he drunk now? Guys, is he drunk?
Oh, I will be soon, so we're gonna have to do this quickly.
Yeah.
But I want to watch this UFC too. My shoes all wet. But I guess that's kind of a disinfectant.
That's how you clean.
Yeah.
I use cheap vodka on my hockey gear.
These are dope too.
Cool. You could have just got rubbing alcohol for 99 cents, Byron.
There's a suit, and my whole chat. I missed a little bit. That probably wasn't very.
No, we saw.
Yeah,
Justin.
Justin, I haven't seen your chest that wet since our MMMshow initiation party.
Okay, well, at least one of us manned up and did what was requested by the real denizens of deliciousness out there, Gotse and Comatose, two of our
Comatose told me to post death matches on Twitter, and I did.
And you did. So Byron and me, Floaf, next week, it's up to you to finish off your shoeys because Casey is not obligated to do one.
I don't drink. Yeah, they said they're cool with that too.
And I didn't either until just now, but now we're gonna have some fun. I'm sorry, my mustache.
And he said something like no wakas, mate. I don't know what it means, but it sounds awesome. I fucking love it.
That might be racist.
I'm sure
I don't
it means
know.
Byron. I'm sure it means Byron.
Oh my god, that burns, man. That is like all inside here and outside of here.
I'm telling you, switch to botanical gin.
No, don't. Kettle One vodka's so smooth.
Are you a
you gotta drink
hippie?
it.
Jesus, why the fuck are you drinking botanical anything?
Gin, dude.
All right,
don't know.
And kids out there watching, please do not try this at home. I am a trained stunt professional. That in no way do we condone binge drinking in any fashion. Though these two idiots need to do a Shooey next week, but we don't condone any of that stuff.
All right,
I totally don't condone binge drinking, but fuck me, it was some good years of my life.
Okay, so now that I'm fired up for real, can I just talk about
no wuckas? No wuckas is what it was. Yes,
the other wall of shame thing that needs to happen. I got to get this off my chest because this is a huge problem for me. I got to talk about Apollo Crews right now. So Apollo Crews, the new gimmick is awesome. He's doing a great job with this. I liked the promo. I liked him coming out with the S1Ws or Elite Guard or whatever. If you don't know what an S1W is, that's the militant guys that march around behind Public Enemy.
It's Sisters with Voices.
No,
that's SWV.
It's the security of the first world.
I like it.
It's the Public Enemy's militant.
Oh
faction.
shit! Yeah, you meant the fucking group Public Enemy. I'm thinking Rock and Johnny Grunge.
No. I mean the music.
The real Public Enemy.
Yeah. Public Enemy number one.
Yeah, boy.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah. And Professor Griff was an S1W back in the day, and now it's turned into just a giant piece of hot poop. Anyway. But so Apollo comes out with these dudes and he says all of these things about, his Nigerian ancestry. He now speaks with an accent, which is spot on, by the way, and perfect. I loved it.
Oh yeah. He sounds exactly like my Nigerian business law teacher.
100%. 100%.
Did you have Mr. Oshodi, Byron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Anyway, I loved the whole gimmick. There's only one major problem with it. And one thing that I have a huge issue with it. Everything that he's doing should make him a face.
Right.
There's nothing that he is doing right now that should make him a heel. He's talking about his heritage, his pride, how he wants to use his heritage and pride to go out and kick people's asses.
Hey, pal, who the fuck do you think's running the company?
Oh, my God. It's such
So you only have to be prideful in being white and of European white descent.
Does anybody have Sheamus's number? I need this guy to do a couple jobs to him.
But this is a conversation that's popped up a lot recently. Where why isn't there a White Pride Day? And it's there's a difference. People they're arguing about being proudful of
there is a white pride day, pal. It's called WrestleMania.
That's true. But it's like there's a difference between
I'll be honest, Byron, though, I don't have an issue with white pride. I really don't.
But there's cultures. You don't get anything because your skin is white. You get something maybe because you're a dumb fucking Irishman or dumb Italian. And I get
all of the white privilege and stuff and everything. Here's my thing about white pride. I don't have an issue with it. If you're proud of where you came from, you're proud to be a white American. But let me talk. If you're proud to be a white American, you're proud to be a hillbilly, you're even proud of the separation of your people from other people. I get it. That's not the part that I ever have had a problem with. I don't mind that part. I get it. I don't agree with it, but I get it. I don't agree with segregation, but if that's your jam, fine. If you want to be a country redneck and you don't like other people and you want to be prideful of the people that you do belong to, that's not the part I have a problem with. The part I have a problem with is when you use that to actively keep other people down.
Right.
Is when you use that to actively seek to hurt other individuals. Black pride is different because what it's doing is trying to say, man, we've been shit on for a long time. Let's bolster ourselves up. And I also have a problem with it when that turns to militancy. I don't necessarily agree with the Black Panthers. That doesn't mean that I don't agree with Black pride. I just don't agree with militantly trying to cause Wakanda. I don't agree with anyone who is militantly trying to keep another group of people down. I completely agree with you. If you have pride in your people and want to see the advancement of your people, even if it's at the expense of others, and you just want to get ahead, that's been the way our world has been for millions and millions of years, and that's fine. I just don't want it to be done by hurting someone else or actively trying to hurt other people. If you're just trying to advance your own people, go for it. Yeah. Do your thing, man. That's just that's just one opinion. And I don't mind listening to other opinions about it and sharing and having an open conversation about it. I can do that.
Yeah. I have two things on that.
Celebrating your heritage doesn't mean you have to try and destroy someone else's.
Exactly. Correct. And I do think though a lot of people they're not focused on their heritage as much as they're focused on these people look like me, like if we're white, then then that's who we are. And that's not who you are. You have a shared culture and heritage that you should be looking towards and identifying with. But
they're too worried about what's being taken away from them and not worried enough about what they need to get as a people. If you're worried about what you need to get, then you start operating from a place of positivity and hope for the future. If you're worried about what someone else is taking away from you, then you're going to turn to militancy and anger and you're going to have issues. That's the difference to me.
So Casey, who's playing music? So, Justin, my guitar's in the other room. But anyway, it's
crazy.
It's the morning train.
We're gonna.
It's a picture of Chris Benoit.
Oh God damn it! God damn it!
Now we're never getting any WWE guests on this show officially.
So but with wrestling being a reflection of society, and these are all very, very, very important points to make with Apollo Crews coming up and with him being a heel. When you had the old Attitude Era gang warfare, you had the Nation of Domination coming out and wanting to take from people, and they were bad guys. For that reason, Crews is coming out.
Color, don't diss the man.
Cool. So Crews
is what I'm saying, but oh God, you fucked up my rap. You fucked up my flow.
I don't want you to be rapping right now. So Crews is coming out, and he's not ticking off those boxes that you're saying. He's coming out and not trying to take from people aside from competition in a competition sport. Like he's not, and it's like when Juice Robinson was in
NXT
and
he was a hippie.
It's effectively being a heel for being at the Olympics.
He's literally saying what Stone Cold Steve Austin used to say when he was the biggest face in the world of I'm a badass, I believe in where I came from, and I will come stomp a mud hole in you and walk it dry. That's literally what Apollo's doing, and that makes him a heel.
What makes him a heel is that he is a different person, and
we know what makes him a heel. In
I know.
Scenario.
It's because
he's chocolatey as hell.
And he's
his cock is too big.
He's not being subservient, which is kind of funny. In the same week or two, Bobby Lashley is winning the belt, and everyone across the board is happy for him. But
let me tell you something, Byron. Listen,
it's a bad
Lord
business.
Alfred Hayes. What kind of position did he have in my company, pal? Third-rate announcer. Let me look. What was Virgil doing, buddy? Huh? God damn it.
He was the butler.
That's
so
true.
what I do is I get people with dicks bigger than mine, and I push them down.
Yeah, but did you see Virgil work?
Yeah, well, can you call it work? Is that what are you calling it work?
Have you seen
Don't hate the
shower,
player, hate
pal?
the game. The dude made some money.
That's true.
He lost
Hey,
it.
look,
he's gone.
That's
He
a
did.
boss.
I thought Jake was sneaking Damien in the shower for a fucking prank.
So, but it is something to say. Like Vince McMahon, WWE is in wrestling is super carny, blah blah blah. But WWE is doing some great stuff. Like they finally got a personality and a reason to give a shit about Apollo Crews. You got the Hurt Business, who, in my mind, is the only group that successfully has been the next four horsemen. You know, they're on top.
And they deserve it. And they look, we've been telling people for weeks that the Hurt Business got the shine in the back at WWE Raw, especially for Raw, because it's a 3-hour freaking show. That show would have been so dismal for the last 8 months without MVP. Period.
Right.
He is the MVP. He's the most valuable person at friggin' Raw right now. It ain't Randy Orton. It ain't Alexa Bliss. They filled up some great segments. They have. They've done their job.
Man, he told me some great Lucha Underground spoilers, pal.
Oh, wow.
Are we doing Lucha Underground in this segment?
Yes, we are. But I want to get through some quick WWE stuff because there's nothing else to say.
Right,
Congratulations to Bobby Lashley.
Oh, yeah.
D-Bry, blah, 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 blah. Get it. It's filler. They let D-Bry run with Fastlane, so he's doing it. Whatever. That's all there is to say about that stuff. In NXT, Ciampa and Thatcher are bomb. Love them starting off with that match. Don't know where the fuck the rest of the show went after that. It was dismal. Everything about the Johnny Gargano therapy stuff was awful. Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez with the Nia and Shayna tag titles thing meant absolutely nothing. LA Knight's promo was awesome, but him getting involved with Colossal Bronson Reed, I don't know if that's maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, pal, he was my second choice. I was going to have him get involved with Bronson Pinchot instead. You know, Balky.
He's busy doing a second rehab show.
I just saw it for the first time yesterday. Cousin Larry.
Yeah, I'm interested with Reed and LA Knight. I don't know.
Who the fuck is LA Knight?
They're both good talents, so.
And you might throw Cameron Grimes in there too to mix it up, like whatever. Look, to me, Eli Drake, LA Knight, whatever you're calling him, he still looks like a superstar to me in there. I think he's going to be great. Thank God, Casey Catanzaro is out of the picture, so now in the storyline, they finally written her out. WWE takes a few weeks to react, but basically they're saying, yeah, we heard you. She's gone. It's fine.
She doesn't even have a real knee injury.
Catering, pal. That's a no.
It's all storyline. Her being on the shelf is a complete work.
She sneezed on my goddamn plate.
Thank God. Escobar and LDF get to beat down some guys. Escobar does. I don't know. What did you think, Meef? Was it a reasonable job of getting his own heat back? They basically were like, hey, bro, we'll give you some time on air. Go get your heat back if you can.
Master Splinter.
What do you think, Meef? Talk about it. You're wearing the shirt. You got to say something about the guy.
Hey, we'll see. It was good to see him come back, the week after and just carry on, as if nothing really happened.
And just carry on?
And kill
carry on Cross.
Let me tell you something.
Carry on,
Cupcake.
wayward son.
Cupcake Escobar. You got to learn how to disappear out of the back of those ambulances.
Look, all I know is Escobar said, do not mistake last week's events for weakness. No, I mistake them for booking where you got fucked.
Yeah. You know what's the WWE thing, though? It's like they'll do this great blood feud. Escobar, Karrion Kross, and will have that huge match, which was kind of fun. And, booking whatever. But, they'll do that, and Kross will win with all the stuff going on. It'll kind of make sense in a match. But in, 3 weeks, there's going to be another rematch where Kross just pins him clean in the ring for no reason. And they'll do that, 3 more times.
Maybe.
TV to fill.
And in the same vein, with Finn Balor versus Roddy Strong, first of all I can say is Denise Salcedo is the only person in the world who seems to give a fuck. Second of all, I'll say, when do you ever announce when you're going into a title match between two guys that there's another one with one of those guys the following week? Like
AEW does this too, and it drives me fucking nuts.
What is this? Why would you tell me that ahead of time instead of just going off air cold with next week, Adam Cole, Finn Balor, blah, 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 excitement? Why would you tell me that right before the match and completely ruin any shine that Roddy had? Not that Roddy had any, because Roddy, I don't want to hear him on a microphone, and now I don't want to see him wrestle again. Like they have just murdered Roddy Strong for
boots.
Oh my God.
No, Roddy
boots.
Roddy he needs to go back to being the dominant slime bag heel. But I mean,
look,
what?
Here's what's happened. This feels like we're heading to a 3-way match with a double swerve where the UE reunites and beats Balor for the belt, and then it's stupid. Anyway, Balor won that match. I want to go on and talk about Lucha Underground because
do we have to?
WWE sucked. So this is the dark and the mysterious Lucha Underground season 2, episode 2. And literally it is darker. This episode was filmed at the same time as the one from last week. This is the same audience. Casey and J-Man and Urban are all in the same spots. And the color correction is completely different. Literally, the show is darker. Literally.
Yeah, okay, I can explain, Justin.
Explain.
Please do.
Hold on. Was Shaq in the audience?
No,
not that kind of.
Whoa,
get it? Because of what we were saying earlier.
Do you guys remember how the last episode ended?
Yeah, obviously.
What happened?
Meef
in the ring.
I have the notes right over here somewhere.
Yeah,
it was broken. It was Mill getting his arm broken and the whole big schmoz thing at the end with all the big champion contenders.
Mm-hmm. Who was standing tall at the end of the episode?
You were.
Penta
was, and so was I. I took it out. It couldn't contain itself, so I had to take it out. And apparently, they can't show my dick on TV, bro.
So they had to just keep everything darker. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
It's all masking for the Casey package.
I did that specifically so Byron could cut that for the intro, by the way. But yeah,
is that because you've got Coca-Cola tattooed on your dick?
Wow.
Yeah,
no, he says I want to buy the world a Coke. That's what it says. It's like it's a much longer sentence.
Yeah, it says enjoy Coca-Cola Classic is what it says.
I'd like to give the world a cock.
Yeah.
Well, they misspelled it and wrote Coke, so Casey
Wendy,
just was like,
no,
it
says welcome to Jamaica. Have a nice day. I
love that joke. I tell it all the time.
Tremendous joke.
My kids love it.
Byron,
why are you telling you that joke? You only hang out with your mom and your kids.
No, it's a joke, Byron. It's a joke about a joke. Don't you get the joke?
I know, but you hit that punchline when I was in the middle of about to start talking. I couldn't hit the stop button.
Byron couldn't function through the middle of the joke. Okay, we're gonna get Byron some comedy lessons and then get this whole show sorted out.
I've taken a class. I know about jokes. Take it easy.
Listen, this stylized look became a signature of Lucha Underground from here on out. They dial it in and back and forth. Like the color correction is not set on a specific let for every episode for some reason.
They use different. It's because they use different editors for every episode, and they all probably have their own setting.
Like, and that's part of what it is. Like different editors would do a finish pass on the episode differently. But Evie Dub did say that this was intentional. This is what Evie Dub, I believe, likes. So it's harder to see what's going on in the crowd. But also, I feel like this is exactly what NXT is missing now in the CWC that they used to have over at Full Sail and other places. They need to bring back some of that dark element and something because I think it will make the show stand out better.
It makes those glossy ass boards on the outside look better if it's darker for sure. Something
needs to change over there just in the look and feel of the show. But anyway, vignette number 1, Puma and Penta. I love that the guy who doesn't speak English gets to do all of the talking here. And he tells Puma that you're going to help me break some more people and then I'm going to break you freaking fire promo.
Yeah. Can I tell you where Chris DeJoseph and Chris Roach fucked up in this one?
What? Yeah, go for it. That's what this whole show's about.
They had Penta look concerned at the end. He should have just laughed.
Oh, when after Puma's, no, I think he was concerned because he was looking at Puma like, dude, I feel bad for you. If you try to do that flippy shit on me in a match, I'm gonna hurt you so bad. So he should have looked concerned.
He was concerned that his promo was so good that it was gonna cost Puma his job someday.
I think secretly he was just laughing under his hood because he's like, I can't believe I just got to do all the talking and you had to do 5 backflips that they kept filming over and over again. This is awesome.
Yeah, cabron.
Then he goes back to catering.
Yeah, and then Penta's like, I'm gonna go turn into Fat Penta. Fuck you, bye.
I don't have to do any flips, and I'm gonna go eat some carbs now. See you later.
Honestly, dude, that weight gain was depression based over his booking at the end of Ultima Lucha Dos.
Maybe it might have been, and that he wasn't the champ, so he couldn't get a reach around from his Wero buddy Casey.
He doesn't, dude. Come on, dude. He can.
Casey would still reach around.
Come on,
I'm sure you're right. You're right.
He can get it from the front. It's fine.
Mundo versus Killshot. Mundo versus Killshot was good stuff. Killshot does the job just like he does now.
Yeah. No one was chanting Johnny Zero.
Nope. That's not what was happening there at all. What was actually happening there, Case?
Okay.
Johnny Zero.
Everyone was chanting Johnny Puto because there's a lot of white people in the audience that thought it just meant bitch. And apparently it's like a really bad homosexual slur. And we didn't know because we're fucking white as fuck.
I knew. I just thought that was how Lucha Underground rolled. I thought it was allowed to be like that.
It's a two-edged one because it does mean bitch as well.
Yeah, it does.
The sentence you're using it in all.
But in the context of how we were using it at Johnny Mundo, I think it was pretty accurate, and it's a lot easier to chant than Mighty Calm. So it is what it is.
Jesus Christ. So they got the Johnny Zero from the Iron Man match, the All Night Long, which we were chanting because he had 0 pins at that point. So we were chanting Johnny Zero because of it. And so they used that as the chant. Johnny Zero, cover. Really?
Dude, Eric Van Wagenen is the bomb in post-production, dude. That's a bomb move right there for a producer. Come on.
I know eventually either Eric or DJ's like, Casey, please tell people they can't chant Johnny's Puto anymore.
No, Eric came right over to me, you, and somebody else. Asked us before one day, and then he went to the other side and talked to Vic and those guys and Chiaki and all those dudes and asked them too. Like, he actually came out before and was like, hey, so about the Johnny Puto chant, even on El Rey, that's not going to really fly. We're having some issues taking the show down to Mexico and other places. So we're going to ask you guys to stop that.
All that stuff worked for like a first few amount of episodes. Yeah. And then they start trying to get into other markets.
Oh, no,
and that first meeting where the person's like, this is what you have on your show?
Because you got the, puto. You got that. So.
Yeah. But I do think that in Mexico, that they were trying to figure out what to do, especially with season 2 and maybe moving it to air somewhere else because they weren't going to do the Latin version the same way.
Remember when the Latin version used to blur out Katrina just wearing regular clothes because they thought it was too much? It's like, have you seen Sábado Gigante? Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying.
That's a late night show though, right?
I like 5 o'clock, I think.
Okay. Yeah, maybe not.
I mean,
what were you going to say, Byron?
I was just going to say that the 12 and over age requirement for Lucha Underground was not for the violence, but it was for the pure sexuality that peered off of Katrina at the temple.
And Pentagon, yeah.
And Pentagon. Yeah. You just could not.
I'm Casey when Pentagon was in the ring.
I mean, there's a difference because
that was a swimming pool section.
When Katrina came out and like she was doing this, when she came out, her character was so powerful and so, boom, like literally at least half the audience went through puberty again.
But Byron, are you saying that rock was soft before she started holding it?
Yep.
I'm just saying
it was
just mud.
Yeah,
just mud, and then Katrina got a hold of it.
And then the difference is when Tejano comes out, half the audience becomes pregnant.
Yeah.
So
can confirm.
Also,
Tejano Jr.'s running around.
Yep.
Yeah, and also it was very handy that the Tejano section carried signs, so you knew when
they had to
Tejano was
identify
wrestling.
themselves.
Don't run around in that area.
Yeah, Sammy Callahan knew not to do the thing. Yeah,
because it was too slippery.
And the one time he did slip was literally right there. It was right in front of Crystal and all those guys, and just saying, that literally happened. I don't know why.
We're not making jokes about this. We're just telling you what was documented.
So then
and I have been told by some of those females that
yes, they're not shy about it. They're not shy about it.
You've been told what?
No,
Tejano's a handsome man. What do you expect?
We're good. Anyway, Cage came out. I like this Cage. Cage actually got to cut a little bit of a promo. This was when Cage was in high favor with the Believers in general.
Dude, he always was. This is the Cage we want, dude. One that we could be bros with.
And I loved Mundo cutting him off in the middle too, because that was the first time we saw some good witty kind of stuff out front in the crowd with Mundo. And it was like, you remember, this guy can do this.
Such witticisms as washing machine. Yeah.
He cuts him off with, we know you're a machine, blah, blah, blah. And it was fun. And then they all call out Mill. They call out each other. Like I like this from last week and I like it this week that we're building this thing where Mill sitting up on the throne is important and everybody is looking to that. And then they're making fun of him getting his arm broken by Pentagon too, which is
I wish he just flipped people off once in a while though. Like,
but that arm was in a cast, man.
He's got two arms.
That's true. Yeah, but the other one.
You know what would have been great if during a really bad match, Mill just came down to ringside, started kicking like chairs out from underneath people, started yelling, "Go home! Go home!"
No, it would be funny if like Son of Havoc comes out and you literally see him get up off the throne and go take a piss and come back, and the camera follows him doing it.
Or they should have just given him a microphone up there on a stand so you could hear him start to snore.
All right, I'm gonna do the time code on this one. That might be the teaser.
Look, we got a lot of vignettes in this show too. And we're in a different world with the vignettes. Let's talk about the first one. Marty has taken Sexy Star on vacation down to La Jolla for a nice little trust fund vacation, and he's going to bring her back to the temple soon alongside of his sister, and then he smashes a bug or something.
It's pronounced La Jolla, and also
I've heard that before too, which is so sad.
This is one of 4 vignettes or teases for new characters in this episode, which is crazy.
Mill is really doing a lot of character development.
I remember at the time being super stoked about it. Going back and seeing it now, it's like, I think you guys should have strung this along a little more. But also, season 2 was scheduled to be a shorter season, and they always knew that. So they kind of had to hotshot these people in quickly.
I think that this was a little, okay, Marty, it's his birthday when we're recording this. Happy birthday, Marty. We love you, but you're the worst kidnapper ever, because who says we're going to let you go and we're going to come with you?
Right.
Byron usually leaves them. They're in a dumpster by day 2.
But it depends. Stockholm syndrome.
But here's some stuff to like also like figure out. So like he has,
but it's actually not Stockholm syndrome. It's given that one. It's not actually called Stockholm syndrome. They just actually always use Stockholm, but it's actually somewhere else. I can't remember what it is.
Okay.
It's Gitmo
syndrome. How long is Sexy Star going to be in the gear that she worked in? Having her boobs like pressed up to her chin, no changing clothes, probably no shower, and she's just
still in her mask and makeup. Yeah,
since and like months, 6 months. Like, what's the kayfabe timeline?
Long enough for Dario to set up shop in another town.
Shit, no, they give you a time in episode 1. I just forget when it is. It's like 3 months. It's supposed to be 3 months, I think.
Vampiro says he's been locked up for a certain amount of time.
And
even references it in this episode too.
And that's a great point, Justin, that you said, like, you guys know more than anyone. Like, if you don't wash your makeup off before you go to sleep, your face is going to break out the day before. Or the
I have
next
that problem all the time, bro.
And so like, Sexy Star, that's just unhealthy to have.
And look, I know firsthand that Marty likes to get out of his chonies as soon as a match is over. So I don't know why he would want to deny somebody else that.
He's not going to get bigger Tonys if you can't fit them in your hand, Justin. That's the thing.
Yeah,
so
he should
gross.
have these. What he should have done was
I would have been happier if he chopped me in the face than that. Oh, sorry. Moving on.
Put them in his hand and chop you in the face.
I would have preferred it if he'd slapped you with them. That would have been better.
Yeah.
See, that's what Michael Nakazawa does in DDT.
Go back a few episodes if you want to hear the story of what we're talking about here. Hey, listen, Casey, I know this next vignette, though, is your favorite of all time. It is PJ Black in the Pink Motel.
Oh, yeah, dude. Okay, so PJ Black. Okay, this is what I got from this vignette. And I'm not saying this like in a bad way. I'm just saying it's the way that it reads. Okay, so he's a gay biker character that tries to arrange meetups at the Pink Hotel, and then the guys get mad and try to beat him up. Is that what's going on? That's what it felt like.
And they're white guys in masks.
They're white guys in masks.
Which is
yeah.
Which means, but that means it's a fetish thing and not a wrestling thing. They're
I'm not kink shaming. But the question is he paying for them to beat him up, or like, is that part of the deal, or were they mad?
I think that what happened was I think that it was a mutual meetup that went awry when PJ didn't pay them because he was going to go to Lucha Underground to make some money.
Oh, dude, you know what happened? Motherfucker showed up without a mask on.
Rule number one. Ruined the party. They're like, dude, where is the Darewolf mask with the cute fuzzy ears that you did last time, bro?
What if it was
rule number one of Fuck Club?
What if he arranged the meetup at the hotel and they're like all totally cool. They're like, we're gonna do some cool, banging. And then he gets off the motorcycle and instead of going, hey guys, let's start banging, he just starts punching and kicking them.
I mean, look, honestly, I think the moral of the story is something transactionally went wrong. I thought
guys?
The look of the segment was great. That Skip Chaisson.
Byron always gets paid.
Oh, and by the way, speaking of Skip Chaisson, I misspoke. Was either last week or 2 weeks ago. I said something about Michael Bay when I meant Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott is true. And I knew that, but I said the wrong thing.
We knew that too. We're waiting for you to figure it out.
Well, yeah,
I like the way saying anything about Michael Bay.
Skip is a Ridley and Tony Scott guy, and not a Michael Bay guy.
Okay, good. Okay, so
no one's a Michael Bay guy.
Pink Hotel, real landmark on San Fernando Road. Dope ass looking place. I'd say second to the Safari Hotel in Burbank because that place just looks awesome.
Safari's been more used, but Pink Hotel
is the True Romance Hotel, right?
Safari is.
Yeah. Safari is, yeah.
Whenever I think of True Romance, I think of two scenes. Aside from all the bloody scenes, I think of Bronson Pinchot with the bag of Coke exploding in his face in front of the cop.
It was so wasteful.
You reference this episode. I like it.
And then the other one is
You're a cantaloupe. It has to be. No, it has to be. You're a cantaloupe.
Okay,
if you say anything else, you're wrong. Oh, you must have thought it was White Boy Day.
That was
Gary Oldman playing a Jamaican. If it's not that one, then you're even further off because that's number 3. Keep going, Byron. What do you got?
Christian Slater eating a cheeseburger.
Since you've been in here, there's a
woman have you actually seen this film?
With her titties out.
Christian Slater
didn't even notice. She got her breasts hanging out right now. You must have thought it was White Boy Day. Go ahead, Byron.
I love it. Christian Slater eating cheeseburgers at the hotel.
Dude,
it's Val Kilmer as Elvis in the bathroom mirror. Come on.
Yeah.
You seen this movie, Byron?
Who knew he would turn into Fat Elvis by 2021?
Oh my God. It was really a prophetic role for him, I believe.
Yeah.
Hey, I wouldn't make fun of him if he wasn't reportedly a fucking asshole, allegedly.
Hey, listen, here's the best thing about this whole PJ Black thing is that he goes into a match with Willie Mack. It's his big debut. Everyone's super excited that he's there. He has probably one of his best matches. It was better than when he was Justin Gabriel. And Willie Mack pins the shit out of him with a jumping stunner off the rope, and PJ Black loses his debut.
The commentary on this match is beautiful because the first thing when he comes out, Vampiro says, "I've never fucking heard of this guy before."
Yeah, it's that.
I know.
And then by the end of the match, he's like, "I'm the one who told him to pick the name Darewolf."
Another aspect of it, by the way, and we should probably
love it.
Yeah.
So Stryker kept going. And and a drop kick by Black on Mac, and like another Black punch. And Vampiro's like, "Hey, buddy, maybe you should just call him Darewolf."
It was going all the wrong places.
Dude,
it was
Vamp
amazing.
was so great in this match on the commentary. I just was laughing so much. He was getting these great lines in there.
But Stryker effed up twice. They cut it out when he called him Justin Gabriel. He called him the wrong thing one time, and then he also called the Mac Willie 3 times that they left in, which you weren't supposed to do because he's just the Mac in Lucha Underground. He's not Willie Mac.
Yeah,
I mean, we chant Willie for him though, so I think that they might be okay with it. But yeah.
But I mean, Stryker's job is to be the one to put over the angle the way it's written, not the way that it is in reality. That is his job, literally. And even Vampiro was messing with him about it the whole time. It was hilarious.
I wonder how many times they had to reshoot the Jeremiah Crane shit.
Oh my god!
Yeah, but I do like how everyone when they come in new they lose.
Yeah, that was
that is the law.
Excuse me, sir. I'm the one who invented that kind of booking. So you see this show that has done nothing but steal from WMAC Masters, Wrestling Society X, and me. And do you think that I saw a dime for any of this consultancy?
But Paulie, you didn't have guys go over when they first came in because you didn't know if you were going to pay them that night or not. And you didn't want them to have heat for their angle for next week.
That is neither here nor there, but I have to say to you, if you think that I got any sort of reimbursement for the use of my ideas on Lucha Underground, fuck you, you're wrong.
Well, they did change belts midway, so I guess they did steal from you a little bit.
I was trying to
fuck you, you're wrong.
Do you think Matt Hardy, by the way, bought like that Ferrari, whatever sports car, and got to write the whole thing off as a business expense because he tweets pictures about it with his big money Matt gimmick?
Yes. My favorite vignette of this entire episode, which is really, really working way within kayfabe here. This is total work. There is a commercial for Lucha Underground gear that is still in the to-be version of the show. Like why they didn't extract that, I don't know. But it says, get your t-shirt, cap, and more. And the more being one other t-shirt design and one other hat design that is exactly the same.
Oh, no, you had the glasses.
The bandana.
Not at this point in time. At this point in time, they had original logo, they had gray logo shirt, they had black hat, and they had red hat. That's it. Yeah. That's all that was on the website.
Most of the shit we've stolen for our merch.
4 items, and I own 2 of them.
That's true.
Yeah, where was the fuck you here's Casey shirt? That is so teespring.com/bazooka Casey. We have more merch than Lucha Underground did going
and did back then almost. I swear to God. And you saw more of our merch on their TV shows than you saw of their merch on their TV shows. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I just thought that was funny. Vignette number 4 is our girl Thunder Rosa doing some back alley karate and saying she's been called a lot of things like cold-blooded and
sexy,
which was my favorite part about it. Now, I got to say, at the time, when I first saw this promo,
that from me, Justin.
They did, Mr. Commander, sir. I knew nothing about her at the time.
Right.
We were all wondering if she was an actual luchadora from Mexico. I think this is funny to me because basically,
I knew who she was when I saw her tattoo.
Casey told me that
Casey, I think,
hired this new girl who had really cool face paint, and he was like, "I wonder if they hired her for that gimmick." But then she comes out in a mask.
But this is funny too because she's not a Mexican wrestler, as in she wrestled in Mexico. She's a Mexican from Mexico who wrestled in America and was not a luchadora at any point in time. Thunder Rosa is not a luchadora. She is an indie wrestler from Mexico. And there's a difference.
Can I shit on the lack of continuity here?
Yes, please.
She's clearly a jewel thief in this.
Yes.
Not the leader of a snake tribe.
Correct.
Just saying.
Well, she could do 2 things.
She's Catwoman as a snake. That was what they were
doing. 2021. A lady can do more than one thing.
Yeah, Casey, son of a bitch.
Have you tried leading a snake cult? Okay, first of all, look. Okay, DDT.
Well, actually, Casey, I've got some news for you.
Okay, look. DDT, Poison Sawada Julie, taught us how difficult it is to run any kind of snake cult. You're supposed to do that back at me, and it's supposed to make rattling sounds.
Listen, clap, hiss. This was this happening because Fabi was not even being considered anymore at this point? Fabi was headlining all over Mexico at the time, and there's all sorts of weird issues, and Sexy Star, I'm sure, didn't want Fabi to come in. Like, why did we not bring a woman up from AAA and get Thunder Rosa? I'm happy we did, but why did this happen?
I don't think. Okay, Fabi Apache is one of my favorite women's wrestlers because she just fucking murders everyone. But
yeah, she's all about a hoss fight for real.
If you're trying to do a TV show, maybe you don't want people that fucking murder everyone.
I think that Fabi wasn't a good choice, and I do believe that DeJoseph and some other people were hoping to get her. But here's the fact of the matter: it was hard enough getting Sexy Star in there, and we luckily get Taya later. But it is weird that we got the whitest of the girls that were down in Mexico to bring up. Not that Sexy Star.
The irony being is that what the fear could possibly have been about Fabi was actually what happened with Sexy Star.
Yeah,
right. In real life. But yeah, dude.
But honestly, if Fabi had come up, you probably would have still had the same result.
True.
Just better wrestling along the way.
I would have loved to see Big Rick try that shit on Fabi or Mari.
Oh god. Oh, she would have got fucking murdered clean.
Yeah.
She would have been in business for real.
Especially Mari, dude. Fuck. Okay, like Fabi doesn't fuck around, but Mari,
but it is true that even at the time, even though Dorian was doing this, he still had Maricela to deal with back in Mexico and other people, and they were not letting some of the top tier go. Like, we didn't think we were going to ever get to hear bien. That was a pipe dream at the time. We didn't think that there was going to be any Psycho Clown coming up or any of those guys who were working the top programs in Mexico, and that included at the time Fabi. So it wasn't surprising that to me that we got Thunder Rosa instead, only that they brought her in a lucha gimmick, and she had literally not been a real luchadora at all. She did a great job with the
When did that matter to these writers, though? No.
Well, true.
I feel that I know the story that they went to a show and they met her there and they liked her and they hired her because she was a cool person and she had a good match and a good look. And hey, it just goes to show you being nice and like working hard gets you a long way. Conan O'Brien said that. He's like, if you're kind and you work hard, great things will happen in life.
Well, and her gimmick did have some Mexican heritage and stuff to it, and I think that they were interested in bringing that in. Plus, she was very affordable at the time. Let's be honest. There was no contract issues with bringing Mel in.
I think if I remember correctly, Mia Yim really impressed them too, but she just, whatever reason, that ended up not happening.
Yeah. So 3-on-2, Puma versus Penta, or Puma and Penta versus all of the Disciples of Death. I didn't even watch the end of this. How did this thing end, Byron?
It ended how some guys beat up the other guys, and there was a bit of a schmoz, and then Penta tried to make a run at Puma.
Yeah, Penta tried breaking Puma's arm, and
he told him he was going to do that, though.
Yeah, so it's
it got a huge Cerro Miedo chant, not like a huge Puma chant. They tried. There was an attempt at dueling chants, but they were quickly drowned out by the MMM boys.
Let's go, Puma! Cerro Miedo!
I mean, also to be fair, I think I was on the phone when I was watching this part of the match.
It's fine. We know where we're leading. We get our main player.
I was on the throne when I was watching this part of the match.
Was there a Ray tease in this thing?
There was.
It ended with the dad dragging us ticket promo at the end. You just see him in the shadows, but you hear a voice, right? And you're like, "Oh, this sounds familiar." But also, like now,
what did the voice say? Did the voice say, "Yes, he's actually my son. I know he's 6'7", but he's my kid"? Was that what the promo said?
No, the promo was saying, "Listen, man. Listen, SA. Eddie isn't even 6'4". So, like, I'm totally lost on this one.
Look, I just claim him because no one else will. It's fine.
But it was a cool promo. I mean, I had kind of forgotten how strong the Ray rumors were during the entire run of Lucha until he showed up. So like when you hear his voice, and that's when back when I was watching
I think we even talked to EV Dub about it once, that Ray really They were trying to get him in. It wasn't a done deal, but they were trying to get him in that the weekend that the Perro Aguayo thing happened.
Right. And
that
we had already known Ray was in by the time this vignette aired, because we had been at Aztec Warfare already.
Yeah.
When he debuted.
So like a little bit of the luster was gone by then, but at the same time, it was great that
voice is kind of unmistakable.
It's unmistakable. So like,
like a filthy animal.
So basically, God, can we just forget about the filthy animals?
No, never.
No.
Never.
I'd like to give a shout out to my homeboys at Tommy Boy Records. Release the Hounds. Hoo.
Look, the jewelry alone that was encompassed in the filthy animals makes it one of the world's most unforgettable.
Remember when I had horns, Justin?
Yes.
That was amazing.
Little Ray, who looked 14 years old, so they put horns on him so he wouldn't get, carded. Or
you guys want to buy some overalls?
Some bibs.
Yeah, but I definitely, watching this back, I definitely popped when the camera pans over from Daj to Ray, and I'm like, Ray's on Lucha Underground now. And then I turned it off. We actually
have you on recording screaming, I think, before the episode went on the air.
Yeah.
So you just saw it. Yeah.
Hey, listen, guys.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Case. What were we going to say?
Yeah. So basically the gist of that was Ray's part of the same family as Dragon Azteca Jr., which he actually is. And they were supposed to give that mask and pass it down through the family, but Ray went a different way and picked his mask instead. So now Dragon Azteca Jr., he's the representative of the tribe, and Ray's part of the tribe.
And this is fun. I like this whole storyline thing. I wish there had been more of this, of just developing up these tribes and even creating fake lineage that didn't go along with any other real Lucha Libre history whatsoever. But like, who cares? Just write me something fun. Keep it in the vein of Lucha Libre. And they could have done a lot more cool things. Like, why doesn't Thunder Rosa have a storyline like this? Why doesn't Mill have more stuff like this? Why doesn't Puma have more?
We needed Bandido and Cuerno together.
Didn't Ray take his uncle's mask?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, but what's cool is Ray Horace is his cousin, I think. I can
find out.
I know they have some kind of tie. I don't know exactly what it is. They might be like second cousins as a shoe.
Because Ray Horace did actually originally start with the kind of
fake Ray Mysterio.
Yeah. Whatever. Ray Horace is awesome. And he's the third best guy as well. Water spitter in the world after Triple H and Francine.
I want to get
pretty good at getting his arms broken by Pentagon.
Super quick.
What?
I want to get one thing in before we go to break.
Do it, because we're going to go to break, because I want to watch this pay-per-view and I want to come back and talk all about it, and UFC and this mystery man and this ladder match and this exploding barbed wire thing. We have some exciting stuff still to talk about, Byron. So do it quickly and do it now.
Yeah, I want to do it now while we still have Casey.
Plus, I'm drunk. You saw me do the shoey, right?
Yeah.
You saw the shoe
I would have done a shoey with you.
My shirt's all wet.
Now we're going to have to do a shoey next week where you'll be podcasting on your lunch break from work.
Called extending. You can get a shoe. You can get a shoe in the next advert break, Byron.
Maybe I'll do it after. Maybe
save it for next week. Save it for next week. We have to stretch the gimmick. We have to build buys for the pay-per-view, Byron.
That's true.
We're building up to the big March 20th pay-per-view episode.
The drink off.
With New Japan, by the way, New Japan Pro, the latest thing going on is Ibushi. He's been calling himself a god, not even a JBL wrestling god. He's been a god since he won the double titles, and he wants to unite the two of them, which
he already did.
Well, yeah, because he beat Despy, which, by the way, Desperado fucking rules, and that was a great couple of main events that he had.
But they're doing that now, right? They're going down to one belt?
So, yeah.
Yeah, he's the first official New Japan IWGP World Champion now. He's the first champ now.
They're making it because they had a heavyweight and they had an intercontinental. And now they're combining.
Now it's world heavyweight.
And it's a weird sort of like competing realities going on where Ibushi is the first, but he's also like the 68th or whatever heavyweight champ and the 80th, whatever the number is.
It's like with the WWE titles.
He's the Finn Balor of New Japan.
So no, he's great.
Bro,
I mean, I do
no.
but I do like a film. No, there was a great Prince Devitt in New Japan, but I do like how New Japan, they have kind of their 4-pillar main event dudes, and they give them each a specific legacy as champ. I do like that, and Evil doesn't really count. He was cool, but he doesn't get his own legacy.
Jay White doesn't count.
His legacy has been with the Shirai. That's his fucking legacy.
Yeah, like what else does he need? Oh, nothing. Anyways, but that's also a great wrestling couple in general. Evil's still pretty bad.
Calm down, Byron.
And what?
Said calm down. What?
I didn't mean it like that. I did not mean it like that, If you're the one who made
what
it.
What else is what?
So Jay White also, he has not gotten a legacy run, and he's dope and he's great, but it's not his turn yet. So I do appreciate that, but I don't like how they're combining both belts and they're getting rid of them. And they're both the belts are super fantastic looking. They're super unique. They both, the heavyweight has all the prior champions listed on the sides of the belt, which is dope. And you don't see that history in championships in wrestling. We'll
see what they do with it. I leave it open for an opportunity. What does Stone Cold think about it?
I think he's a goddamn piece of trash.
No, look, I love Kota Ibushi. He's great. I just want to say, pour one out for Okada's back.
Right. Okada's back has been fucked up for a while.
Okada's back is so fucked. He's doing clean jobs to Great O'Karn.
Sounds like he should do a run in Impact.
Oh no, it was Shingo. He did a job to Shingo.
Yeah, which is fine. I just watched that. It was a good match. But Naito they still protected him.
Naito did a quick job to
I totally and that sucks. Both those guys are kind of going down. But they have a single elimination tournament, so they're able to work it out. It wasn't like they had to wrestle the whole G1. But Okada had some comments to say about Ibushi and the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Hopefully I don't fuck this up. All right, you can't see the bottom one.
So you fucked it up is what you're saying.
Well, I'm using preview.
Looks like he's a false god.
Hold on. Let me do this.
Wow.
Can you replace it with Kissy Face Okada?
So what we've learned is that, Justin, next time you make the grand decision to let Byron speak for a minute, make sure it's not about New Japan.
Yeah. Understood.
It's still cropping the bottom. Anyway, so he goes, it looks like he's a false god. And then the bottom text is IWGP World Heavyweight sounds so lame, punk.
Ha!
Amazing.
Got him.
Burned.
Got him.
And
on that note, you are correct. We'll be right back after another quick message, and we're going to talk about some AEW, and we're going to talk about some AEW.
Due to a scheduling conflict, I am leaving right now. You will not be seeing me again for the rest of this episode. Feel free to stop.
We keep begging Byron to.
All right, listen, I am shoot drunk, and I'm gonna go and drink a lot of water now.
I recommend while you're still in this frame of mind, Justin. I recommend downloading some specific apps.
Fuck! Made me do a Shooey. What in the world made me ever think that a Shooey was a good idea? What the hell was I thinking? That was
being a male and being challenged to something.
Drunk as shit now, and I've ruined a really good shoe.
No,
you've been getting tweets about the Shooey and stuff during.
Wait, people have already seen the Shooey? I just did it.
No, Comatose Stats. If you guys did it, and I said it happened, and yeah, he says that you're leveling up in legend status if it's true.
Oh wow,
dude! I would have thought that vodka would have evaporated more.
Oh wow, what a right! What a right!
Anyway,
pretty soon you're going to be as legendary as the Colossus of Bogo Road.
All right, I'm out of here because I also have to pee like a champ.
Goodbye.
Chicken later.
Greasy food. Eat some greasy food. We're still live.
No, dude. Speedy Gonzalez is trending on Twitter. How did they know he was doing that?
Hey, dude, we should still be recording about how great Sting is right now.
Sting is the best wrestler.
So those other guys left. I mean, Meef likes Sting, right? But come on. I want to shout out to Josh and Adam for knowing Sting is good, and that if you don't like Sting, you shouldn't be on a podcast. We've had Justin removed from the podcast.
He's banned.
This is the teaser that you use. Yeah, so Byron, what's your favorite thing about Sting?
I like when he goes, woo, but I also like when he fires up and he shows his teeth. And I like the Stinger
I like
splash.
when he punches with the back of his hand sometimes. You know
Yeah,
how he's like
great.
boom and then boom and then
I mean, you gotta spread it out, you know. And also, I love the Scorpion. Like, here's the thing: I don't think he's done a good Scorpion Death Lock. I mean, he did a great one on Dynamite for a minute until he fell over, but in TNA and over there, like he didn't have it to like actually squat halfway down to do the Scorpion Death Lock. But I love the Scorpion Death Drop. My favorite one was when he came out of the ring, and Justin is still texting me about how drunk he is.
Dude, my favorite Scorpion Death Drop was on the clearly inebriated Jeff Hardy, where he basically gave him a Scorpion Death Drop and pinned him really fast because Jeff was in no condition to perform.
Yeah, that was great.
That was pretty good. Do you think Lex Luger killed Miss Elizabeth?
If you're listening to this and you haven't visited luchacentral.com, it's time to do it. luchacentral.com is the online home for Lucha Libre, where you can get all of the top news in English and in Spanish. Find the best curated video content and original content not seen anywhere else. Find when Lucha Libre events would be happening in your area. Find photo galleries from top photographers covering Lucha Libre around the world. From weekly polls to annual awards. Seen and read by top executives in all of the major Lucha Libre promotions across the globe. And on top of that, it's free. LuchaCentral.com, your centralized place for all things Lucha Libre.
And we're back. Hey, where'd Casey go, man?
Are we back?
Where's Casey?
Casey has quit the show. He's never talking about wrestling ever again because they ruined his favorite thing in the world.
I texted Casey and he's like, I'm doing absolutely nothing. I'm not even taking a dump right now, which is weird for him. But I still don't want to do anything.
Copy that. That makes sense. But I mean, it makes sense in his world. But
I don't want to talk to human beings. I'm Casey.
For the listeners, a few days have gone by. We have now experienced AEW Revolution. And I will say, here's the thing. Here's the thing I got to say right off the bat.
Yeah.
Absolutely worth $50.
Yeah.
Now, what you got for that $50 is you got to experience some history.
Uh-huh.
you got to see some cool and interesting things. You got to see a company that clearly was trying to do something big. Did all of those things pan out? Maybe not.
Absolutely.
Did some of those things pan out? So look, my top level notes are this.
Yeah.
My top level notes are this. They put together on paper a really good show in a lot of ways, except
even I was tempted to watch it.
A couple of key factors. Here was the big miss in the overall thing. No belts changed hands, nor should they have in these matchups. And that is an oversight on their part. I think that AEW spends too much time looking at individual storylines, but then doesn't look at how they come together for a pay-per-view, because literally you have tag titles that we know shouldn't go on to Jericho and MJF. Those guys are already over. They don't need the heat. You know, the Young Bucks are better for what is really a run and gun division right now. You know, Jericho and MJF could totally be tag champs, but it doesn't really make sense for the rest of the product that they're trying to elevate. So that wouldn't have made sense. Then the Sheeta thing, it made sense. The match totally made sense. The way they did it and what they did made perfect sense. But we know that they're not going to put it on another Japanese champ that they can barely get over to the States during a pandemic. The problem is, this feud doesn't have somebody ready to elevate yet. Thunder Rosa is probably the closest thing, but she's also not the big homegrown talent for them yet. And it wasn't time for the belt to move. And we all kind of knew that going in. And also, we knew that Moxley most likely wasn't going to win. And if he did, it would probably get dropped right back immediately because the guy is working towards a paternity leave right now. In fact, we were all surprised when he got in this feud right now to begin with, but it's kind of a send-off feud. We've known that forever, and that's why they tried to kill him in the ring.
Yeah, they're going to have to blow up the ring Wednesday with him in it to send him off.
Dear Lord.
They're just gonna have to have Kenny douse him in gasoline and actually light him on fire
as a way to try and make up for what actually happened.
So right. So let me ask you guys this. When is it okay to knee strike a downed opponent and lose your title? Sorry, I went off to UFC for a second there.
No, that was awesome. That was
the other big event this weekend was UFC. And just I love Aljamain Sterling. He was absolutely losing that fight to Petr Yan. And the ref said directly to Petr, and I know his English isn't all that great, but he said he's down. And you would think that, there's a few things in English that you would learn, like, when the ref is pointing to the ground and saying your opponent's down. And then Petr said something to his corner, like, do I hit him now? And they were like, yeah. So he hauls off and does this illegal kick. Aljo is concussed. He loses the belt. He loses the belt on a disqualification. The first time that has ever happened in UFC. Like, people were looking up the rule book. Like, is this pro wrestling? What do we do on a DQ? Does Petr retain?
Shayna Baszler did tweet out. Quite funny.
Yeah, like you don't retain in MMA because otherwise then people would just cheat and keep their belts forever. Like they do in wrestling, but you can't do that in MMA.
Yeah, no, get into Shayna's tweets. She's a very underrated wrestling genius.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, look.
Meef. I thought I was asking you to explain what Shayna tweeted.
Oh no, she literally just tweeted saying this is why in wrestling belts don't exchange on a disqualification.
Yeah. And then someone was like, what's to stop a heel champ from getting DQ'd to keep the belts? And then she goes, the first one was like, someone replied and she's like, you just learned about MMA. And then she said that. And then someone's like, why couldn't a heel champ keep getting DQ'd to keep the belt? And she's like, well, you just learned a lot about pro wrestling.
Exactly. And there's reasons for all that stuff. Anyway, the rest of the UFC, the very expensive UFC that I even got a discount on.
I have a question, though. Does this make Ibushi the new UFC champion?
Yes.
Since, Murder Ibushi showed up on the pay-per-view on the show.
That absolutely means that is the case. I don't know. Megan Anderson, I really wanted to see her do better. But Amanda Nunes, who is like a 10th her size, just clowned the crap out of her. Mm-hmm. And Israel Adesanya and Aljamain Sterling both had this weird, sloppy, loose fight style. I think it has worked better for both of them in the past, but they pushed the pace in this weird way. Adesanya, I thought, did pretty good at 205 pounds, but pretty good is not being a champion. And Jan Blachowicz, he didn't look like a champion winning the fight either. That was really kind of now that John Jones has vacated that division, it really shows you what a gap there is at 205, which at one point in time was the division when you had Liddell and you had Forrest in there and just all these guys. It was just a nonstop who's who, Machida and just anybody who wanted to be famous. That was the premier title in combat sports of all combat sports for a 10-year period. And now it is just a sad state of affairs at that weight class. Anyway, I don't want to talk about UFC too much. I want to know what you guys give as a grade to this AEW Revolution pay-per-view. And this is a tough one because there's a lot of good stuff and there's some stuff where it's like, ooh.
I wouldn't give it great. I'm going to go for 100-point score system.
Okay, 100-point score system for me.
Okay, so Meef is going to say, fuck you, Justin, and do his own thing, which is rude.
So you get to, let's go for it. It equals about 80 out of 100, or 8 out of 10.
Okay, 80.
But on my system, you get minus 1,000 points for having shitty little sparklers.
So you're in the sparklers ruin the whole event.
I am. It's just the whole thing is it's an event. If you went to a gig and the ending was shit, it would ruin the entire gig for you. your entire memory and everything of that gig and that event gets destroyed by one little thing.
But,
if the lead singer of the band gets shot in front of you,
I mean, okay,
it's going to ruin the night.
I get that, but like if your favorite band comes out, like the Rolling Stones, Meef.
Oh my god!
And they do this great set, and they end the set, and then they come out for an encore and do like 2 acoustic numbers, and it's really lackluster.
They did that 50 years ago, and they continue to just do encores. That's all they've done.
That's all. That's been one big encore. Bad analogy on my part. Then bad analogy.
You know what? The thing of like the event is created to make it's a whole unit, isn't it? It's not just individual things. They have an event is a whole. So
Meatloaf
as a whole,
basically given this event a negative 920, if my math is correct. So
Scott Steiner math.
It was an 80, and then it got negative 1,000 for the ending. So now it's at a negative 920. Byron, what do you grade this this AEW Revolution thing that we witnessed?
I mean, you gotta understand this is a mark promotion by marks for marks, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think it's a good thing, but also like, I mean, production value isn't where WWE is at just across the board, and I guess sometimes exploding rings gets lumped into like missed shots as well, because. Whatever. I give this. I still think overall, I had the best time watching this. I would give this an A. I would give this a 90. I think you could questionably move some stuff around. Like for sure, for me, the Maki Itoh thing on the buy-in and that whole match and the commentary behind it, which Excalibur brought up the history between Thunder Rosa, Riho, Maki Itoh, and Britt Baker. That was a tremendous match with implications and purpose behind everything. That felt like a main show, and I regard that as part of the main show. The tag team battle royal thing, I thought that was fun. I thought it went a long time, and it felt like a buy-in time killer.
Yeah, so I have some thoughts on that too. So let's dive into these a little bit. My overall rating for this thing is probably low B, high C, somewhere in there. It's weird because honestly, going into the death match, I probably would have had it at an A, and the ending I think dropped it way down to me for a lot of reasons. But I'll get into that because and this is why I say it's still a must-watch pay-per-view. I still think it was worth your money. I still think it was worth your time because so many great things happen. And leading up to that letdown also is just historically going to be a big thing. And if you're a wrestling fan, I think even the bad part of this pay-per-view, you kind of want to be a part of and have experienced because it's just so tremendously what the F moment that people will talk about in wrestling forever. Right. So, and Meef was even asking us that before because he hadn't finished watching the pay-per-view. He's like, should I watch the rest of it? And we're like, oh yeah, you have to watch the rest of this thing.
But that's the thing about the match. Is spectacle. It's a spectacle, and we've been talking about it since it happened. And I mean, there were a lot of great parts to the match, and then the end was just the barbed wire wasn't.
I mean barbed wire around the ring. That wasn't one of the.
Look, I'll start talking right about that match right now because my feeling about that match was that the best spot, the biggest spot, the most awesome spot. The most painful spot, the most dangerous spot was the one-winged angel on the chair. Yeah. It had nothing to do with explosions, had nothing to do with barbed wire. It was a spot that Kenny and Mox could have done in any type of match that they ever had. They could have found a way to do that spot. And that, to me, was the biggest moment of the match.
Yeah.
This is a match.
We're looking at 3 guys who've seen Sabu versus Terry Funk, for instance, when the barbed wire actually sticks in you as a human.
And
but don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Back in his arm.
I don't ever expect that when I watch a barbed wire match. Now, CZW has done some stuff that is far above and beyond that. Yes. I mean, other promotions have too, but
the trampoline.
I never require that of any talent. They don't have to go there for me.
I get purists not wanting the ring ropes and wanting more barbed wire mayhem, and I get AEW leaning it back or trimming it back a little bit, pulling it back a little bit. I get that, but they definitely could have done more. It's definitely a much better visual when you go into the ropes or when you go into the barbed wire and you just get stuck in them and have the pop, pop, pop. That definitely looks cooler. But I really enjoyed the DDT onto the board. But to me, that was more about
the flash pots only went off on one side of that gig.
Well, yeah, I mean, so to get into that real quick, what I enjoyed about that was how Mox did that, and he had ripped his shirt off, and then it took him forever to unstick himself out to get out.
He sold that quite a lot because he was quite clearly not attached to any of that barbed wire.
Well, yeah, you also know why he sold that was because Kenny was over there with the ref getting a blade to get his color.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Kenny looked.
I'm sorry, Casey would be mad right now. Kayfabe, Casey, I hear you wherever you are over there.
But in that same regard, the explosions, even if not all of them went off, weren't near them, which is
the thing is even I knew because obviously I'd seen the sparklers going into it. I knew it wasn't going to be fantastic, but when they did the first little against the rope, I was like, oh.
Well, the first
someone lit a cigarette.
One of the
some vape pens on the edge of the ring.
One of the bangs on the rope didn't go off on the very first one too. The next two in the sequence looked much better, and it only took one. And the camera placement was bad for that first one, but on the second one, they had that nice low up angle. You saw them all go off. You know, the guy's covered by a smoke and a flash for a second. Like the trick photography and that's one of the other things here is the camera work in the last match was, again, not the finest wrestling camera work ever. And it's amazing to me because I swear to God, much smaller promotions with much worse budgets and much less TV know-how have way, way better camera departments than AEW. And it's getting to the point where it's sad.
Well, it's a big thing with them being at Daddies' place and with the stage and with their setup. It seems like they can only shoot from one side of the ring. And basically, if someone is facing anywhere else but hard cam and they're not a hard cam promotion, you're missing stuff. And they don't have, I guess they don't have enough cameras on ringside. Like you should have at least two, which I think they do.
Right, but also the directing is cutting to the worst one of those three angles on a regular basis.
Yeah, but they missed everything, and like even on the buy-in with the Maki Itoh spots, which she is such a character. She has such character moments, and even if Tony Schiavone doesn't know that she sticks her middle finger up, they missed every single one.
And then talked about it for 5 minutes to rub it in. That's so bad. Like I'm sorry, Excalibur. They missed the shot. You now cannot talk about that for 5 minutes because that sells how bad the rest of your program is.
Yeah, and you're selling.
Laugh when Callis was talking about the arena being filled up with smoke.
Yeah, in an open air circle amphitheater arena. Nice work, Callis.
It's their camera work is.
As Shivani would say, you don't get paid extra for that.
You might as well stood there with a fire extinguisher. It would have been better.
I mean, I do think they're doing a great job with the corner camera. I think they're doing a good job with that. That's a cool addition. But
you know what they're missing? I think. You know what they're missing? They're missing a jib, and I don't know why they do. They?
Yeah, they're fucking using it.
They don't use it a lot, but they have it, and they use it every now and then.
Then they probably don't use it right because I don't even notice it. Like WWE uses theirs sparingly to not block out audiences and everything, but they've been using it a lot more with empty audience shows, and there's no reason why AEW shouldn't be doing that.
There's a specific moment in the main where they were on the apron, Mox and Kenny were on the apron, and they were fighting, and the guys were talking about, oh no, hope they don't fall, but the shot was from the floor only on them, and you don't see what was at stake. You don't see the environment at all. And so like, you don't get the visual story. You need visual storytelling. You need to see the person, you need to see what the reaction is, and you need to see the thing they're reacting to. So then a little too late though, they cut to an overhead like jib shot where you see them on the apron and you see the board and then you see the spot. And okay, you're right. I remember that shot. Okay. But that was also like a little too late, like
right. They need to be doing some sweeps and some moves and having the jib. Like, look, Lucha Underground jib shots made that show, and once they got it dialed in by season 3 or 4, it added so much. But anyway, let's talk about the end of this match for just a second, because really I want to try to figure out what the hell happened here. I don't think that explosion that we got could have possibly been what they actually rigged. There had to have been flash pots that did not go off. A wire got tripped during the match, or something happened that kept the wires from going off. Because I feel like the sparklers in the ring post was fine. The smoke was fine, but there was no bang. There was no flash pots. There was no explosion to the explosion. There was only the sizzle and the aftermath of the smoke, and they left out the bang part. And I feel like they had to have had it rigged. There's no way they didn't test it out.
Right. I think there's a thing that everybody's come up with the theory of what they really should have done is call an audible and have them come out and laugh at them and go, ha, we tricked you, it wasn't really explosion. Because now, if they put that into Wednesday or Tuesday's episode of whatever, which one they're going to go with, it looks like, oh shit, we're having to apologise for such a shit thing we did. Whereas if they'd done it then and there, on the fly, quickly, it would have been like, okay, yeah, we'll accept that as a, in the mindset of things, would have accepted that as a storytelling. But like now it just looks like, oh shit, poor Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, I mean it's
that man died out there to a sparkle.
It's a technical difficulty, and we're just gonna have to like process it and then move on and deal with it. And like there, I don't know how you can respectfully. Not that wrestling is respectful to the intelligence of its fans, but I don't know how you respectfully fix that in kayfabe.
Yeah.
I think you just come out and be like, I mean, we could discuss what like Heights Up 2020, what we could have improved on the moment, but now you just look at it and go, well, we're moving ahead with our story. Well, like you fix Sting versus Hogan in the documentaries about that whole angle, like just fix it in the recaps. We know it fucked up, but we're still going to tell the story and send Mox to, send Mox on a Eddie Kingston storyline again and paternity leave and whatever. And just like, it happens, and it's a live show and it's an outdoor arena and whatever, just whatever. They still,
I mean, but here's the thing. Who in the back was going to make that call? There's only one person in that match who wasn't out front that could have made that call, and that's Tony Khan, because there's no fucking writers. Now, what normally would have happened is in a WWE or even Impact or some of these other places, 5 people would have been scrambling to say, hey, that was bunk. We got to do a fix and run in and do. Nice way to break stuff, Brian.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
And Jesus, wow, that's loud.
I'm sorry.
And to run, somebody would have run in a change or a fix or gone off the air or something sooner. But I think you've got Tony sitting back there, and maybe Chris Jericho or somebody standing around, but those guys are probably all off celebrating their stuff.
Jericho's probably already
pissing themselves.
Like who's at Gorilla with Tony Khan when this happens that can not just tell him it's fucked, but tell him how to change it real fast. And at WWE, there's a whole room full of people, and somebody would have shouted over the desk at Vince, hey, why don't we do this real quick? Or, hey, let's go off the air or something else. And Vince would have made a call right then and there. And this is where I love Tony Khan, but this is where Tony Khan has to start putting on the big boy pants and realizing it, because here's what happened. Tony Khan is a genius. Tony Khan's an awesome guy. He put together an amazing pay-per-view that is totally worth it. But at the same time, he's got this epic fail at the end, and people remember the first and last thing, and you're only as good in the wrestling business as the last thing that you've done. He did, 3 hours and 10 minutes of an amazing show and 5 minutes of a complete crap show, and now Tony has to wear the blame of that last 5 minutes. It's 100% on him.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're answering your question to a degree, but it also is the problem where who's back there? And Jericho even talked about how they have the list of people who know how to book and know wrestling and know how to tell stories and know the business. Like you have Jericho, you have You have Arn, right? You have Tully in the mix. You have,
but all were involved earlier, so then you don't really have them anymore.
But see, what makes that the problem is that everyone is in their own story bubble.
Correct. So, and everybody who was in this story bubble was out there and not at Gorilla.
You don't have that. Tony
Callis is out there. Kenny is out there.
Yeah.
Even Tony, Eddie and those guys are out there. What's going to happen in the back? Paul White's going to walk by and just pat Tony on the shoulder really hard and be like, Vince would have never let that happen.
No, Paul White's he's trying to figure out how he's going to make their second YouTube show watchable and keep his job. But Tony isn't going to give up the reins. He's the one in charge, and you're just going to have to deal with those growing pains because he is going to be the only one that has that overarching authority.
Yeah. It's sad. The Sparkler thing was sad. It didn't go off right. But I thought the rest of the match was fine.
Can we fantasy book real quick what we would have done?
What would you have done with what? With the whole match?
No, with the ending. Once the sparklers go off and Eddie, I don't even know if he saw what was happening because his head was down the whole time. Maybe he knows because he didn't hear the proper booms.
I can tell you what I would have done. What would you have done?
I would have scented Kenny and gone in and done some other explosive spot with him, like throw Eddie in the ropes or like take him outside and drop him on one of those boards. So he had something to sell the death thing. I get that. What I would have done with the bat again. I don't know.
What I would have done was actually just send it in to Eddie and had Eddie jump up and be like, "Oh my God, we're not dead." And just play it off like it was a joke, or just give you a cliffhanger so that you can actually have time to regroup and fix it tomorrow. But sending the ref in to check on them and leaving them dead there and keeping it on the air, not going off quickly either, that was part of the mistake. You have the bad explosion and you get off the air quick, you can leave a little bit, or you could shoot something else right then and there to explain what happened afterwards. But leaving him in there dead on top of Mox, and he's just looking down and probably laughing. I don't know what poor Eddie was doing. And Eddie may not have known that the explosion sucked. The ref should have run out there and been like, "Eddie, the explosion, the gimmick didn't work. The gimmick didn't work." Somebody should have sent that in to Mox and Eddie immediately and just at least let them know. And then maybe Eddie could have hammed it up or done something else. But I still think it would have been funny for him to spring up and do it like, "Oh my God, we're not dead. Those mothers.
Yeah, like Terry.
We'll get you guys. Why did you scare us?"
And he's such an authentic character more than he's a face or heel. It would all work. And it also really neutered him as that authentic character to, I don't know. I personally thought that it was a heel spoof by Silly Cocaine, Kenny Omega, like, the sparklers at the end of the countdown. That's
right. I mean, look,
hilarious. And then
if it had been meant to be that way and Kenny had come out and just laughed like, "I got you, dumbasses." But the problem with doing that is they're trying to write Mox out for a minute and do the switch over with Eddie. So I think they were so married to that I don't know that they could have quickly thought of that, because that is obviously, I was expecting that when I saw the sparklers. I thought that it was intentional and that Kenny was going to come back and just be belly laughing the whole time, like, you could have had
Kenny come down and kind of laughing whilst he's got the microphone, and then just like hit him again with the barbed wire bat and then throw him over the edge.
And I guarantee
to where the board was broken.
Tony is beating himself up today because he's thinking, "Oh my God, that's exactly what I should have done. Kenny should have run back out and just laughed or whatever."
But that's where we use the word carny a lot for, to describe a lot of things that aren't super positive. But that's also part of that carny mindset where you're quick thinking and you come up with solutions, or you've had this problem because you worked on shitty low budget shows for like the first 15 years of your career. So you already know what happens if something goes wrong. You already have 5 alternative backup plans to do.
Yeah. But the one thing they can do now is obviously when they release it, as a thing, they can just edit it in like XFW.
Maybe, but
and have the
here's
big
the
lightning and
here's the thing.
fireball.
What we've learned is that somehow in this mystical universe of wrestling, Kevin Kleinrock is better at explosions than Tony Khan. That's what we've learned.
Yeah. Well,
somehow that's amazing to me. If Kleinrock, you've seen his grilled cheese sandwiches. How is it possible that Kevin Kleinrock with WSX on a half an hour wrestling show can have a 10 times more big time explosions inside a tiny little arena than freaking Tony Khan can pull off with a Jags budget at a stadium that he basically owns?
I mean, you just go to his social media and Kevin will tell you all about it. Like he was already nerfing the AEW explosions before they happen. He's like, I don't even have the budget, but here's how I made WSX and
they're exploding boxes at WSX stuff. Were dope.
Yeah. Like here's how I did all that, and we had to we got some guy and Onita's guy from Japan tried to Onita us so that we found someone else here, and he's just like blah blah blah, and they were all really awesome and cheap, and they're really great. I hope AEW does well with their huge production.
Well, way to go, Kleinrock! You're slowly working your way off the wall of fame.
If this event was budgeted, then we know where all the budget went. It went on the amazing match with Sting.
That was so good. That was so good. But that's not even, that wasn't even
how much of a big fuck you was it to WWE though? Because they could have had Taker versus Sting in a fucking one of these matches. And it was like,
but they couldn't, because guess what? They couldn't do this right. This was where Tony is a genius. Yeah. This was taking some equipment from the Jags, finding a great location, bringing in stunt coordinators, asking Sting what he always wanted to do that he can't do because he sucks, and putting it into a cinematic format, letting Cage just do his regular thing, and stealing every good idea from Lucha Underground from the entire 4-year run and putting it into one match because they're just trying to do a one-off. This is what WWE was afraid to do. WWE was so concerned with making things specifically their own, and so many of them failed, like the Funhouse Randy Orton
the swamp one.
But the last ride one with Undertaker and AJ was decent. It was pretty good. It was enjoyable. I watched it. Especially at the time when you're looking at empty arena stuff, it was great.
I liked it. It was more like a horror movie though. Like it's almost too cinematic than
there was a bit
fight. What the Undertaker one? Now, so here's one of the big differences.
From behind thing was a bit much. Yeah.
Here's one of the big differences. They shot this one like that. They took the idea of that. They put music behind it. It was there. There was music behind this match too. But they had the announcers talk over it like it was a regular match the whole time, including Taz, who's on one of the teams that's involved. I think that helped. There were a lot of people out there complaining about it, and there was some irritating spots of it too, and it was a little weird and off-putting. But at the same time, it's like this is happening in some undisclosed location, so we're just going to watch it and give you our thoughts on it as it's happening. They're watching it as you are, as a viewer, and not really calling it as a match. I thought that it helped, and I'm going to say that I believe that this is hands down, this is the best cinematic match ever. Matt Hardy might have some of the most innovative ones. Lucha Underground may have created the format and the style, but this was the best execution of a cinematic match ever. And you guys know I don't like Sting, but it doesn't matter. I don't have any issue. I don't, but I don't have any issue with anything that happened with Sting in this match. I thought it was great storytelling. I thought his performance was spot on. I thought he did exactly what he was supposed to do. Everybody involved did. The writers, the camera guys. Come on, they had a fucking cable shot. They had the big table spot that you knew was coming. They had in-ring stuff, outer-ring stuff, beat down, storytelling, Sting getting his comeback, throwing the bat away, and then getting it back later was great.
Hook showed up without a shirt on,
which is amazing. Woo. Special effects, baby. You got to love them.
Hook, give me some abs. Spray paint them on.
And the suplex walking up the stairs.
And correct me if I'm wrong, or someone tweeted us, MMMshow 75 if I'm wrong, but I think Tony was mentioning, because he does after show pressers, that Darby was responsible for a lot of the presentation, and he was kind of like the filmmaker. He had the filmmaker vision. I don't know if you would call him the director, but
a producer though. I mean, he was agenting his own match at very least.
He probably storyboarded the fuck out of it.
I mean, I think Darby, he just
We know it wasn't Cage. I mean, Cage will show up and make something like that great, but look, that's no offense to the guy. He's not that guy.
Must have loved that. How much must he have loved being back in that kind of environment and with Sting?
Cage is the perfect guy for that because of Lucha Underground, because he can go in there and be like, oh, yeah, I've shot stuff like this before. I know how to sell it to the cameras the right way. And he did. Yeah. Like, everything Cage did in that match was pitch perfect. Even selling dumb, shots and whatever.
There was one big, huge error.
What's that?
Involving Cage. But, he's not one of the shot callers, so it's not his fault. But still, he sold a bottle to the head.
Right, and he should have no-sold it?
That only makes him mad. It's canon.
Right,
you don't smash a bottle over Cage's head unless you want him to hit you even harder.
I will say this, the Darby going through the window thing was my favorite spot, not because of him going through the glass, but because of the way the glass came down on him after it in the frame, and it just looked like it just took him out and murdered him. I was like, this is great. It was probably just all foam and
I would have loved that Buster Keaton moment.
Yeah, sugar glass.
But the Buster Keaton thing would have been I would have been
I really hope that place is filled with sugar glass, but
that spot was clearly sugar glass, but it didn't matter. That spot looked great.
I loved how though you have the fight, but everyone still got their hero shots.
Correct.
Like Darby got his walking back with a bat. Sting at the end got that close up, which wasn't mid-match or anything, but they made sure he looked good for the final shot where he's looking tough.
And he got the pin, even though I was like, for the first half of the match, I was like, wow, we really set up the whole ring just for one Stinger splash. I was happy that they actually went back to it at the end, because literally that's what it felt like. It was like, wow, this is only here because you can't really do a Stinger splash spot out of a ring.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think it was fantastic.
Apparently you can do a Scorpion Death Drop in one too. So yeah.
Yeah. But I guess you don't want to take a back bump on concrete, but wouldn't you want to DDT someone on their concrete?
Clearly the ring was there for Sting, but it helped the match too. It helped break it up and give it different moments and different feels, even though it's absurd. Like, why is there a fucking ring here? But there's a ring here because Sting and Darby picked the location. Darby wanted something gritty and grimy, and Sting wanted a ring so he can do what he's good at. And they're the faces, and they called the match. So more power to him. Yeah, of course there's a ring, because damn it, Sting said there's a ring.
And I love that Sting went over, and I love that he looked as badass as he did.
I like that Sting went over too, because I honestly don't ever want him to do it again. Like, let's get it over with. Let's have it done.
Definitely.
Sting's had his moment. They found a good way to get him into a match. This is the other thing I love about these cinematic matches, and they proved it with Undertaker too. Like, look, you can't have a 5-star match with Undertaker and Roman. Not going to happen. Undertaker's past it, but still a superstar. People still want to see him. So the last ride is what they should have always done. This is the right call for Sting. Finally, after weeks of me bitching and complaining about what they're doing with Sting, I do not disagree with that. He is an old timer. Let him get in there. Let him showcase what he can do without having to hide it in a match when you can just simply shoot. There's only 34 people in the audience anyway. I mean, it should almost all be cinematic matches to a certain extent, even though that would get tiring. So this
just imagine how good the barbed wire match would have been.
Yeah, I mean, look.
I don't know if you're doing the barbed wire match, and the director comes down, and they're like, "All right, we want to do a different angle on you going into the barbed wire and exploding. Take 2." You go, you know what? I'd rather just do this live and get it over with.
It's part of what makes stuff so good. If you think really about Lucha Underground and what we saw live compared to what was on TV, there were a lot of times where things slowed down, matches were a little dull, the audience would get cold, something would go wrong. And it wasn't a lot. The Lucha Underground matches would be 90% fire, but then why not add the 10% extra to make it better? Why not shorten the match to make it work for TV, speed some things up? Sami Callihan doesn't run around the ring 4 times. He runs around once and does the spot. You know what I mean?
Katrina versus, Melissa.
And honestly, I get that the live reactions are necessary and spoilers kind of ruin things, but man, if more shows could do stuff like this and use editing to their advantage, like MLW even does it, it's great. Impact does it sometimes.
Especially when you're working with a lot of indie talent, it's nice to be able to protect the production against a kayfabe 10. When you're like, oh, you guys got 8 to 10, and they go, yeah, we do. And then they take, I don't know, 25?
25, yeah. That also happened often in Lucha Underground, and you could see the stage directors and assistant managers and EV-Dub just turning red and being angry at how over time they were, because it didn't matter for the audience. Like, we were always tired at Lucha Underground tapings, but it mattered for those paychecks, because cameramen, you start putting your DPs and your high price cameramen into OT, you're paying a lot of money. Like, your budget goes up fast, and they were already booking those guys on full days. So if they went over, they come in to prep 5-6 hours before the show would go live, and then sometimes the tapings themselves would go 5-6 hours. Right there, they're in OT. And if they have more to do, it's bad news for the budget. Anyway. So let's talk about a couple other matches. I want to go back to that opening match, the Thunder Rosa Rio versus Maki Itoh and Britt. Obviously, the swerve to get Maki Itoh in there was great. Was this match is weird. I looked at a lot of the reviews on the American sites. Most American sites are giving it a C or a C-.
Whoa.
Yeah. And there's a reason for that. And I'll tell you what that reason is. They
don't get Maki Itoh.
They don't get Maki Itoh, but that also means that AEW did not do the greatest job of making people get Maki Itoh. Also, Thunder Rosa had to slow down. And you could see her at times having to take a half stutter step at the end of her run up, because the other girls were not moving at the American indie speed, including Britt Baker.
Yeah.
Everyone was a half a step slower than Thunder Rosa. And she was compensating to still make them look good. And let's be honest, too, she did 80% of the work in this match again.
Yeah.
Even with Rio there, though. Rio can do more work.
It was a lot of Thunder and Maki, and I think that was the right call. Rio is definitely like Hope Spot. She's definitely hot tags. Even like the singles match version of hot tags, she's definitely that sort of thing, and she works from under a lot because she has to.
Right.
And also like you bring in Maki Itoh. You're trying to get her over, and she was doing all of her stuff, but Excalibur was trying. But first of all, they should have had a package.
Correct.
Second, like, does it take more than 30 seconds? Even though there's a great YouTube video that tells the whole story, and it'll make you fall in love with this performer who's like.
But also, but here's another problem to this. Here's why this would have worked and why they thought it was going to work, because their lead up with the Japanese matches in that bracket helped this completely. However, they didn't put them on national TV. They buried them on the internet. They put them all over. They weren't on their regular shows. Dark should have just been that for 2 weeks. And then if people had watched that, you get the differences in the style, because what these girls do is they gimmick up a spot. They talk. And a lot of this newer Japanese wrestling, what happens is they slow down, let somebody do the comedy or the sell stuff before it, and a girl will just sit there gasping for a while, which you don't do in American wrestling. You don't do that in indie wrestling. They have a certain level of showmanship. Also, a lot of the Japanese girls are all smaller, and there's a different thing to it. There's a different pace. And they know this isn't like Japanese women's wrestling, 10 years ago, where it was seriously some hoss fights all the time. Japanese women's wrestling is very nuanced now and has a lot of showmanship to it.
I would say what the talent they're pulling from, that's especially
is that
Tokyo Joshi Pro. And I've been meaning to get into Stardom, and I always remind myself to do that whenever we bring it up. They're doing some crazy. They're doing some like more straight on fighting,
but there's also a style to it. They pause and then they do a brutal spot.
Yeah, they'll do like
in American wrestling, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, pause,
onto
1,
the
2.
concrete.
And it's just a different style, but they didn't get their audience accustomed to. But also at the same time, this is on the buy-in.
It's on the buy-in, but also the TV crew didn't know the product. Like they missed everything. Like even like Britt would do something and then she'd make a face ringside and they would barely catch half her face in the wide shot.
Dude, they don't know their own product. Even in the main event, when Kenny Omega is in the shoulder cam yelling and doing stuff to the camera specifically to advance the storyline, they're cutting away from it. Who is the fucking director? And does he have a headset on? Can he hear what's happening in the ring? That's a lot of the times the problem with these directors. They get in the truck and they're a sports director and they're not following story because they're more of a sports guy and they're just taking shots.
Yeah.
He's just saying, okay, Kenny's in the camera there, Mox is down. Okay, I want to see Mox on the ground, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, Kenny's there and he's saying something. Stay with Kenny. Stay with Kenny. What's he going to finish? Somebody tell the ref to make him finish. Okay, let's go back to Mox now. You know, they don't know how to direct this stuff.
Made him look real bad. And and it's just you need your hard cam master, but you also need close-ups on the faces and like the different things. Like I mean, it's just it just takes that women's match. There was so much storytelling, and also all these Maki Itoh things where if you're in a wide shot, you're like, why are these people just standing around? But if you zoom in a bit, then you're like, oh, she's doing the fake crying thing. Oh, she's wiping a tear away with her middle finger. She has an attitude and I like it or I don't like it, you know, that sort of thing. Yeah. But if you don't do that, then none of it matters top to bottom. None of it matters on the buy-in. None of it matters in the main event.
Well, I gave that match a B+ personally, but American viewers, I think in general, gave it a C-.
Well, hopefully they come around. I mean, it's just...
I mean, 60 million of them voted for Donald Trump, so, you know.
That was more than that, but...
yeah.
Yeah. And that number seems to keep growing somehow, too, but I won't even get into that. So it's like one day it was like 70 million, then it was like 72, then it was like 76, and now it's like 80 million people. Like,
I don't know. It's just...
What is that number?
Cocaine.
Cocaine voted.
My deal about that is, you know, I voted for Hillary and I was totally down with that and blah, blah, blah. And I was really upset that she didn't, whatever. And then eventually you're like, well, okay, well,
You voted for Hillary?
I voted for Hillary, both elections. No, but like in the first one, like eventually it's like,
I mean, in terms of options, Justin, you had, you know.
Well, it's like, okay, so we have a new president, we're moving on and like, we'll just deal with that now. And so in the same regard, like, why do we still have to keep talking about Trump? Like, at least wait.
I don't know. You're talking about him right now. I was going to talk about wrestling.
Campaigning again.
He's not dead yet.
You guys brought it up.
I'm waiting for him to die.
I made one comment about the number. I don't give a
yeah,
crap.
but then Meef said something. I'm just like, it's old news.
You know me.
Listen to me. Which one of those clowns sitting in that chair in that city are going to send me another check? That's the guy I like.
Yeah, where's our check by?
I just want look. I like money, man. They send me some money. Other than that, I exist just fine in a bizarrely racist world of things that should change, and I deal with them myself. And I see. Here's the thing, man. I don't count on politicians to make a difference for me. I count on myself to go out and make a difference to them to make them have to make a change.
Yeah,
people stop counting on other people. That's the fucking problem. Like, stop expecting any one of these guys to be your fucking savior.
White knight syndrome.
Yeah, it's not Joe Biden's responsibility to go and save your ass. It's also not Trump's responsibility to overturn the election or whatever. Get up off your ass. That's it. I'm sorry. Now I'm ranting.
It was his responsibility not to put kids in cages, but there we go.
That's not his responsibility. If he can pass a law and that's what he wants to do, and then it's your responsibility as an American citizen, not yours, Meef, but it's your responsibility as an American citizen to say, no, that's fucked up. Don't do that. Yeah. If you don't like it. It's not his responsibility to make you like stuff. Fuck that. Anyway, that's just me. Personal responsibility, God damn it.
I really enjoyed that match. And it was so like the funny thing to me was to segue away from what the show is about to something random I want to talk about.
Oh God, we still have more stuff to talk about. But go ahead.
What was this?
That buy-in match alone made me stoked to sit down to watch the pay-per-view.
I agree. I think it served its purpose. I think it was better than a lot of people think it was. And I also thought that Thunder Rosa didn't look great, but the reason why she didn't look great is because she has an uncanny knack for knowing what is better for the overall match and not just going into business for herself. She was not there to be in business for herself. She knows these Japanese girls. She was there to make them look good. She was there to get the whole thing over and not at anyone's expense. And she wasn't willing to make it at anyone's expense by, taking a fast step or doing things that weren't working for the other girls.
Yeah. Everyone looked
doing 80% of the work and eating a pen.
Yeah. Everyone
she had to, though. I mean, who else? You can't have Britt lose there because that hurts. Like she, that's the other thing about that match. She didn't need the win at all. And she didn't need to be protected. She's so over that she's the only one that you can make lose in that match because she can get her heat back next week if they need it. Or she can lose for 4 weeks straight and get her heat back at any point in time, because all the fans and all the viewers know that literally wrestling wise, she's the best there, if not Shida. It's one of the two of them are the actual best in-ring performers. So she can easily get her heat back, whereas everyone else, it's really tentative. Like, you have to have Nyla have heat a certain way or she's useless and no longer a commodity. Britt's got to have her storylines work in a certain way or she becomes useless. Thunder Rosa doesn't need that. So it's actually a compliment to her that she can lose matches whenever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and then because of the connection with the fans, at any point you're ready to cheer for her to win. Yeah, you can just turn her on. She's an on and off switch. You can just turn her on and say, "Mel, now's your time. Go." I do think that more was being done in that match by the performers than what was shown, and then also was understood. Correct. So I do hope that. I mean, I don't really give a fuck because I enjoyed it and I knew what was going on because we've seen them. I've seen the TJP match between Thunder and the build up between Thunder and Maki and whatever. But I do hope for other people and for the performers that the AEW gets better at telling those stories and the audience is smartened up at understanding them.
And they got Mel her heat back too when she got the run-in spot and the main women's event, and they had the heel faction facing off with the face factions, and you're kind of establishing some lines in the women's division. That was smart. I didn't mind any of that. I liked all of that. Real quick, MJF and Y2J versus the Young Bucks. Nothing really to say. Like, the match was exactly what it was supposed to be. I don't think that anybody expected any more, any less. It gave the Young Bucks a little bit of a showcase. It furthered the storyline. MJF is the perfect heel right now. I don't think that there's any more or less you do with him. You just keep doing the same.
Which is Jackson.
Nick is the better one. He's the one who's balding and doesn't sell his back after the match. Headband.
He's So he was super smooth when he did did a move in the ring, slid out, did a moonsault. It was amazing.
Oh no, that's one of his trademark spots where it was just amazing.
And I thought that Jericho to moonsault. And MJF were good foils for it. And MJF getting super kick party when he's got the slobber coming out of his mouth. Like, what a great heel. Yeah. Like, the kid's really, really good. And he's literally 20 years younger than me. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And they've set up the next thing for them.
On the other hand, though, especially, I mean, with the build up and everything. And I just, at the end of the day, you have incredibly talented people performing their jobs excellently. And, old man Jericho, dad bod, old man Jericho, keeping up with everyone, to his credit. But still, at the end of the day, it's like this whole thing was just, it doesn't matter.
It was filler.
It was filler. And it's just to get to the next promo.
It's also to get the Young Bucks out of their weird inner circle drama for a second.
Yeah.
I think that was appropriate when they're doing the weird crossover stuff with Impact and they had to do that. But they needed this bridge, this transition to bring back together the elite heel faction or whatever and just kind of move on into whatever's going to be the next thing. And we'll see. Because there's a lot of great tag teams out there and they have a lot more to figure out in that division than anywhere else. And the Young Bucks are the right guys to help put over some of the other teams, but they just need to be careful on how they do that. The tag team royale thing, good Lord, AEW does not know how to do these matches yet. The end of it was great. The end of it was perfect. I'm not complaining about that. But man, when you have the timer coming down at 20 seconds and everybody's just standing in the corner, resting and leaning on the ropes.
Did you see the bit when they were all lined up on one side of the ring? They were all on the left-hand side of the ring, all sat down, looking at each other.
Yeah, who? WWF would never. WWE would never allow this, and WWE does battle royals so much better than AEW has figured out how to do yet. They don't know how to do these.
I feel like again the camera work doesn't help. They can barely keep up with two people in the ring telling the story.
They don't know how to hide either. But
but then Yeah, I think they do it all right sometimes, but also it's just the whole thing just felt like buy-in or pre-show.
Well, this is also you were right before. This is also a hard camera issue in that venue because on an entrance, when someone's about to come in WWE, you can go to the ramp, but the ramp's off to the side. So you're shooting through the ring and not necessarily seeing all of the ring. At AEW, you have to see all the rings. So you see 20 guys leaning on the ropes, resting and not doing a spot, waiting till somebody calls the next thing. But I have to say that I think that part of the big problem here is nobody's really remembering how the match is laid out. And in WWE, it's so much of a bigger thing. And the agents are just pounding it into your head what your part is and what your spot is. And there's individual agents to work with different parts of the matches. And back in the day, it was Pat Patterson had the whole thing from the top down. I don't know who's doing the top down part of it now, but they have that system in place. So it doesn't matter that Pat established of how you agent a big, Royal Rumble match or any battle royal. And they do it excellent. And the camera department understands it. They know how to hide stuff. And yeah, they miss spots all the time in the WWE because people aren't doing them at the right times a lot of times, or somebody messes it up and goes out when they're not supposed to, which seems to always happen these days. Yeah. Because everyone wants to skin the cat and do this, that, and the other thing. And half of them shouldn't be the guy to ever attempt that. Anyway, neither here nor there. The finish was good. The ending was good. It got down to a point where it was just kind of like, oh, I don't really want Jungle Boy Jack to win, but I'm pretty happy if any of these guys win. And it's not that I don't want Jungle Boy Jack to win. It's just that I don't think Jurassic Express is ready to be the team yet.
Right. But also, it did a great job of sort of whetting the appetite for a Jungle Boy Jack Phoenix match.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's stuff there. They created options at the end of that match, and the rest of it was holy crap. Like, can we get every person on this roster?
How long did it seem to go on for?
Because they got every person on the roster onto this show. Like, literally, you would have had to go in the back and key Tony's car and then curse his mother out to not be on this pay-per-view. Like, who from the entire roster was not in this pay-per-view somewhere? Except maybe Red Velvet, because she got her big moment this past week.
No, she was ringside cheering for Cody.
She was cheering for Cody. She got a shot.
Oh, you know who else was cheering for Cody?
Who?
Jade was clapping for him.
And she should be, damn it.
She knew. He's doing good after we just whooped his ass.
She knew. That's the boss. Anyway, of course, Shaq wasn't there. And I realized that the whole reason they had Shaq do the whole thing he was doing on Wednesday and not on a pay-per-view is because it was the NBA All-Star game at the exact same time. Shaq had other things to be doing.
That's why he disappeared out of the ambulance. He's like, I gotta go work. I gotta
go cash a real check. I don't know. Casey's not here, so I'm trying things. Look, then there was some match with Chuck Taylor and some other match or whatever. I don't even know. But then we get to the Face of the Revolution ladder match.
Miro, though,
Miro looked fine.
Miro looks great. Yeah, but
that was the whole point of that match. It did exactly what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a chance for you to finally see, like, hey, don't forget Miro. He's a top guy. We just can't put him in a top guy spot right now.
Yeah.
It did that. I wasn't mad at it at all. It just didn't really matter a ton because we knew that's what it was going to be.
The fake blood on Chuck, though, was
stupid.
It just don't do it if you're going to do the stuff that wipes off right away.
Right.
Anyway, it's very, very much raspberry colored.
We're trying to go to the next topic now.
Sorry.
I want to tell you're a jerk. I want to talk about the Face of the Revolution ladder match. I was okay with this. I liked this match. I didn't have a lot of complaints. Cody's presence felt a little weird at times, but then also got salvaged, especially when he was facing off with Penta.
Yeah.
I felt good about Cody and Penta being two like veteran top guys who are kind of leading the top of the mid card right now. I was fine with that feeling. I was fine with Scorpio Sky winning. In fact, I would have been fine with any one of these guys winning, though I don't think it's the right time for Cody to come back into that mix. Even if they had done that, I would have been okay with it.
Yeah, I felt like Cody was in it the same way he's in all the action figure lines. Like it was a good name to help sell the match, and also an early name to help sell the show.
That's a job. That's his job. I agree with that. Yeah. 100%.
I thought that, I
liked him excusing himself for an injury in the middle of the match too. Like, just get your face out of there for a little while. Let these other guys have some shine.
Yeah, and then he got booed coming back, because it's like, oh, he's gonna. Of course, it's all about Cody. But then he gets nerfed again. Like, I thought that whole storyline was great. Like, he came in hurt, and he just kept getting hurt, and he was ineffective because he was hurt before the Shaq match, and Shaq powerbombed him. Like, it's all great, but he is still, in a way, putting everyone else over. I do want to say, Ethan Page. I tweeted about this. I did not give a shit about Ethan Page going anywhere before the show.
I was real worried he was going to be the big surprise signing announcement because I had already gotten wind that he was most likely going over to AEW 3 weeks ago. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, and I didn't even want to talk about this on the show last week because it was like, dude, if it's Ethan Page, I just have to make fun of everybody. Like, if that's the big signing of the future Hall of Famer, that would not have been okay.
It would have been. I mean, the expectations already got blown way out because Tony was too excited and he had too many days before the actual show to talk to people about it. Right. But before the show, I did not care about him at all. I know he'd been doing great work and really shifted things into another gear, became a body guy, blah, blah, blah. But I got to tell you, when he came out and watching him work, like I saw it and I'm like, he's good. I was sold. This is a good addition.
He's super solid and he knows how to protect people. I don't know if he knows how to lead in matches very well yet, but the guy's been solid for a long, long time. He's had a lot of, I've always felt like they stuck him with a lot of mediocre partners and they didn't find a way to make him shine. So I think, it's on AEW. The guy can wrestle. The guy can do whatever you need. They got to give him a gimmick. They got to come up with a way to make him interesting. And if they do what they've done a lot of times, which is they just bring him in and think that him being Ethan Page is enough of a gimmick, they're wrong. And they're going to find out that he's just going to be another top mid-card guy at Dark for them if they don't gimmick him up the right way. WWE fails on gimmicks a lot, but they always try, and I think that AEW's got to get a little more of that spirit of this isn't just an indie guy showing up to work on a weekend for you. He goes out and heals the crowd or faces the crowd and gets them going for him for one match, for one night in some beer hall. You're a promotion. You're on TV. You need characters. You need storylines. You need merchandise. You need a camera department. Stop trying to be a fucking beer hall promotion. Your talent deserves more than that.
Yeah.
That's me. But I also, oh my God, Lance Archer's choke slam is awesome.
He gets him over his head.
I'm so sold, and he puts him down exactly the right way, and he does the push. Oh, like, it looks so good, and it looks totally safe also, but it also makes me cringe because it's a great spot. The guy's really good at choke slams. Yeah. And he did like 4 of them in a row, and I liked everything that Lance Archer did in this match. Half expected him to go over, didn't go over, but I'm also fine with that. The Scorpio Sky was a great choice.
Scorpio definitely needs it. But also like Scorpio with his phantom heel turn and like his whole AEW run has been trying to find a natural gimmick personality, the on-camera personality. And I feel uncomfortable watching him try to heel it up.
They better find it soon because he's got 2 of his best years in front of him.
Yeah.
So they got to do it now.
I mean, he's a tremendous worker, but he's also been around a long time. So yeah, definitely
2 years, man.
And but when he won, seeing him winning and seeing him hold the fucking brass ring thing, but seeing him hold that, there was just something about him that looked it just came across to me as super authentic, and all of a sudden I was rooting for him. I didn't really want him to win during the match. But then when he won,
I was just of the I don't mind if he wins vein. But then when I saw him win, I was like, yeah, that's great. I like that.
Yeah, there's just something in that moment that hopefully they can harness in some way.
They got to, man. They've got to. We'll see because he's got 2 years left. What'd you think about that ladder match, Meef?
I did not watch it.
Good. No, go back. Look, it's got some fun spots. Like
I watched. I
like
skipped
a
through
spotty
it.
Match.
To be honest with you.
Penta did great, man.
What was the Christian Cage thing? How did that
come
about?
He was just the big reveal. He comes out, he does the signing. The guy is Christian Cage. He's got the I work for it or whatever the fucking shirt said.
I work hard.
I work hard. Like, look, great signing, great surprise. It was the guy that we wanted. It was the guy that we thought that we might get. I was a little worried for a minute there that they would pivot to But he's the guy that makes the most sense. It is a big name. If he's rehabbed and he's got some years left in him, again, this is another guy. Don't mess it up because he's probably got 1 or 2 years and that's it. Yeah. And then he's in the back as an agent or something else. Or then he goes back to WWE to finally get his Hall of Fame run, which I don't know how much this blows for him now or not. But coming out of the Royal Rumble, coming into Impact, being the big secret signing, makes Paul White look good, gets Paul over because he's got to have some credibility as one of the top announcer guys now. Christian's got all the credibility in the world. Throw him in a program with Inner Circle or whatever. I don't care. Like, I can think of so many programs where he's going to make it better. I'll tell you the one program I don't want to. No, I'll tell you the one program I don't want to see that I'm almost sure they're going to do, and it might even be the first one. Matt Hardy. No, Matt Hardy. I do not want that program. I get the history. I know it's there. It's the history of some other company, and it wasn't my favorite history in that company to begin with. AEW. Listen to me. If you're listening to the show this week, which you should be, don't do Christian Cage versus Matt Hardy feud. Don't do faction feud with them. Keep them away from each other. And if anything, team them up. If you want to play up their history, put them together. Don't put them across the ring from each other. You will bore the shit out of your audience. Nobody cares. That WWE history from 10 years ago, and that shit is over, even for them. We don't want it. Just like what's working with Edge right now. What's working with Edge right now is he's fresh. He's got new feuds. He can go up against the young guys and show them something about cutting a promo, about how to work in the ring, about psychology. We don't want to see Edge versus his old rivals. And in fact, Edge versus Randy Orton didn't do that great, even though it was interesting. It's done. We don't want to see that.
Christian versus MJF would be quite good, I suppose.
The interesting things are like Christian Cage versus Scorpio Sky. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Pentagon versus Christian Cage. I'll take that. Great. Let me see the new stuff. Miro, maybe not as much. Like, I don't want to see those. There's things that you guys can do. Maybe definitely, even Ethan Page. Like, who knows?
Yeah. Keep him out of the other people who have that WWE style in ring work.
Thing of you want to use him
put him in the title
picture. Other guys, not get him losing, but to actually elevate them.
Yeah, don't put him in the title picture with Kenny Omega. That's wasting both of them. They can both be elevating other guys. I felt like that was part of the mistake with Mox to begin with. I get it. I don't dislike Mox, but I see Mox having a different value to the company than what they saw for Mox. And they wanted Mox to be the big top guy, Kevin Nash or Hulk Hogan coming in from WWE kind of guy. And it's like, he's not that guy. He wasn't that guy there. Why would he be that guy here?
I disagree. I think
it's like stealing the Disco Inferno.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Listen, if you're going to compare
I 1,000% mean I have no fucking care for Dean Ambrose as a viable talent.
Yeah, so stealing. You guys dig on or you guys rip on him a lot, and even Casey does, even though Casey does like
boring. It's just
a lot
plain
of
white bread.
I like Moxley a lot. I don't think he's perfect, and I definitely don't think his run was all that great. I don't think he got to do what he wanted to do on the run.
Well, but Moxley is the hero of white guys with beards that are middle class. He's your guy. He's supposed to be your guy.
But
you can't be surprised that he's not my guy.
But he looks like and acts like he should just be found in a bit like a pool hole somewhere.
Okay, super cool.
Being a bum.
But aside from
the baseball game this Sunday.
So aside from opinions that we have, there's one thing that you cannot deny, though, is that Mox is a catalyst for a lot of business that's being done. You know, agree. So like New Japan, it wants to work so they can have more access to Mox. Impact.
I'm not mad at Mox at all. I will watch Mox's matches any day.
That, like that's where I hold my opinion of him as his value to the company, which is not his value to me as a viewer.
I agree with you. I believe that he is valuable. I don't disagree with it at all. I just would use that value differently. I don't dislike Mox at all. He's just he's not my guy.
Of the event.
Yeah. He's got a great value. He is a star. He's a good wrestler. He knows his craft. I don't discount any parts of that part of Mox. I don't dislike him like Sting at all.
As far as relating to him, he has kind of floated around and he's in a transitional stage, and he has a hot, super famous wife who he loves, and he's probably getting closer to that. Well, no, he's just I mean, there was the edge that he used to have where he was just this guy from Cleveland or from Ohio who used to just fight in barbed wire and didn't give a shit about anything. And now he's about to be a dad, and he loves being home with his wife all the time, and it's like,
good. He can stay there.
It's an interesting transition in character, because he's not being a Dean Ambrose. He's being himself.
Now,
but that's also part of the problem.
From South Park.
And there's a lot of people that feel like Meef does because WWE did ruin him to a certain extent. He still has the stink of WWE on him.
And look what happened. I mean, I'm not being funny. I will always remember the Stone Cold interview where Stone Cold literally screaming at him to actually fucking wake up. Pretty much. Because that's how I see him. That's how I see him. I just see him as somebody who literally just goes like, no.
That was a bad moment.
He's been given and handed a lot of things in the WWE. They gave him the chance to be a big star, and what did he do with it? No,
he didn't feel it.
His run.
It was nothing to do with their booking. It was literally to do with his attitude.
His run on top with, I mean,
it was his attitude.
I think his attitude. I understand his attitude.
Even in the ring interviews, everything, he just could not be fucked. And he was just
it's what he was being asked to do. I think that he had a great run on top with AJ Styles on SmackDown. I think that was a long and really, really entertaining program. I mean, I don't know how you're going to go up to Steve Austin and tell him that Brock kind of sank your whole year's worth of wrestling, because you had to face him at WrestleMania and none of it mattered and you got nerfed. Like, it's like, you can't bury Brock too much. It's not good business. And also, like,
not for the price.
Yeah. He also just kind of runs at a different frequency, and not a lot of people speak it. And sometimes you get tired of explaining that to people and you just want to move on to the next question.
Blow dog whistle. Is that what frequency he works at?
Well,
he could use a little more of a Pavlovian response.
Sorry, he doesn't have a stronger tan for you, Meef. And we know.
Well, look, I don't know that we're going to settle this one right now, but I certainly think that AEW Revolution was worth watching because a lot of things happen that are going to have implications throughout the rest of the year. I feel like this set up their course of direction. And sadly for Tony Khan, the sparklers at the end were really, really a literal misfire.
It was like a quinceañera.
Quinceañera.
Oh no, they're better than that shit.
Sorry.
Have you ever seen the Mexicans love the fireworks, man? They literally strap that shit to their heads and fucking run down the street with it. Yeah. If the Mexican had been doing this, they would have been sorted.
I've done 4th of July's in Azusa before. Yeah.
Wow. Anyway. So it was a pay-per-view worth watching. It was a weird UFC with the switchover. It was a great week on the regular AEW program, and WWF can kind of suck it.
UFC had a lot of great knockouts. You should go back and watch the highlights.
No, that whole event was worth watching. I didn't mind paying that money. The last two of events on the card suffered a little bit, and it was kind of the same effect as AEW, where a lot of people were mad. But man, just going back and watching the fights, they're good. There's great stuff on there, and I thought it was a good pay-per-view. Anyway, that's it for this week. Come back next week, where I promise it'll be a much shorter show because wrestling's going to probably stink this week. So we'll see. We'll find out. Until next time, stay calm and stay in the mix.
Penis.